I mean, what did I learn in school, if we're being honest? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I guess you learned about the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah? Oh, I do know that. A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
I still don't know what that means.
The two shorter sides of the triangle, you square those. You know what squaring is?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then that equals the long side of the triangle, but also squared.
My high school brain did not ever understand that, but I still got by.
There you go. There you go.
Now that makes a lot more
All right.
sense. So I guess school didn't really teach me that. You did. So yeah.
There we go. Look at us learning things together. Now, you know what else you can learn, ladies and gentlemen? There's a whole lot from us, usually. Because what's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 100. We did it. Some say they would never do it. Some thought we'd only make it like 3 weeks and then give up. No. Every week for 100 weeks now, except for one. We missed one, and that's why you might notice this episode is up on a Friday, not your typical Monday episode, because we thought, you know what, we missed 1 week. Connor had a little tummy ache. He had a little tummy ache, a little upset tummy.
I was shivering in bed.
So we thought, for funsies, we'd have ourselves a couple of celebratory drinks, have ourselves a good little time to hitting a 100 episode milestone, and we thought we'd go ahead and catch up on the weeks. So this next week, at Monday, 8 a.m. Central, episode 101, we're back to an accurate count. So then when we hit 2 straight years at 120, it'll be 120. There you go. Right? That's how math works. No, 104. I'm an idiot. When episode 104 hits, that's... I already fucked it up.
Have you been drinking?
I have been. We're 2 shots deep right now. Just 2 little fun
He's
shots.
2 shots deep. I took about 5.
Did you just sneak 3 shots under my...
No.
But I also made us some old fashions here. Some
Yeah.
quick little old fashions. I don't know how they're going to taste. I didn't have any oranges, so I didn't do any orange peel. But I did add a quick dash of orange bitters.
I
So
didn't
hopefully-
think you bought any.
No, it's just orange bitters. It's a different thing.
Yeah, I saw you saw the aromatic bitters.
Yeah, I bought those today. Bitters go in old fashions no matter what.
Yeah, but I didn't
to get some of that flavoring, I thought I'd throw in a dash of orange bitters, which I already had.
Let's try it then.
Let's try it.
The bartender made this, so
I am the bartender, so if they're
Judge
trash,
harshly.
I've got no excuse. Bullet bourbon, bitters, simple syrup, store-bought simple syrup because I'm lazy. Let's see.
Yeah,
That'll play.
yeah.
That'll play.
You know what? I don't drink straight liquor.
No.
I don't even drink beer really. But
No.
the old fashions have been consistently pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I'm a
nice
little
drink.
heavy on the simple syrup in here. Probably would have
That's
done a
fine.
little less.
Yeah, admittedly. But that makes sure that we're not gagging or making faces when
Yeah.
we drink it. Ironic, this is coming out on a Friday, the day
That
of
plays.
partying, too. Pretty interesting.
We're what?
The day of partying, Friday. It's
The
gonna come
day,
out that day.
the Friday is the party day. And then in our other cups, we've just got some Crown Apple and Sprite.
Yeah. Simple things to just keep on chugging along.
We were prepared. Connor, normally on this show, you and I each bring 2 topics, 2 pennies, if you will, and we give you our 2 cents on them. Those topics consist of new news you might see in the video game industry, and you can catch us every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, or mainstream podcast services of your choice. But obviously this week, it's a bonus episode. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. We thought we would just, shoot the shit, chop it up, have a good time. And I thought to kick things off, Connor, you know how your phone be sending you random, news links and things? Like, things that, just random whatever things that the algorithm thinks you want to know about.
Yeah.
My phone did that to me on my way to go pick you up because you're not driving home. We record at my place. You're having a friend come pick you up, but I picked you up to bring you here.
Always practice safe drinking.
Safe
Not even a
drinking.
joke.
No, don't drink and drive. Health is very your safety is very serious. Anyways, on the way, I got a link from some random website that I don't remember that said, "Hey, this new Switch game brings serious Metal Gear Solid vibes."
Oh, that got you hooked.
It did. So I clicked on it, and I'll be damned, Connor. This new indie game here looks like some Metal Gear Solid. So I'm gonna play it right here. Can you see it here? I'll turn.
Oh,
it
yeah,
a
I
little
can see.
bit. I'll turn a little bit to give you a little bit. It's a curved monitor. So we're gonna play it right here. No audio playing right for the recording, but it is for us. And for audio members, yeah. It's
Gear.
straight up like old school Metal Gear Solid in a modern age. Like we're leaning up against walls, we're breaking lines of sight. This game is called Undetected, coming to Switch, Xbox, PC, and PS5. It's said to be this year, and they even make it kind of style it after old PS1 graphics in a Metal Gear Solid style, top down, asymmetric camera, all that fun stuff. You can combat roll like in MGS2. I saw flips and shooting and
Drones.
You're running around dodging lasers, dodging cameras, dodging bad guys. It looks like they've had some set pieces where like things are falling apart and stuff. This game looks great. They did a great job in this trailer, really just kind of selling me. We got boss fights, selling me on what a classic old school Metal Gear Solid fan would be into, and I'm into this. So Undetected, you've landed on my radar by Marilano Games.
Where'd you see? Oh, there it is.
Marilano Games down at the bottom. Yeah, I'm very, very interested in this. Coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and Switch, next gen and last gen.
Yeah, this is a
profiles,
Tavin game.
Platforms. Tavin ass game right here. Did that do anything for you? Seen any of that?
I should play that instead of Metal Gear Solid 1 again.
No,
because we haven't finished it.
We're gonna have to restart you, aren't we?
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
that's unfortunate.
no. Listen, drop me into it, and I'm pretty good. Trust me.
I don't think you will be.
I played in that time Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I've been playing Stranger of Paradise, which feels like Elden Ring in a lot of times.
Yeah. So games that feel nothing like Metal Gear Solid.
But difficult, which is what matters. So.
Pass me your shot glass, my friend.
You're filling it up again?
We're feeling it. We're not gonna shoot it right now, but whenever we're in the mood to shoot it, they'll be ready for us.
I can shoot it at any time.
You're dangerous when it comes to the liquor.
My whole entire idea is that drinking sucks, taste-wise. I don't like it. But what I do like doing is getting drunk. So
There you go.
you just kind of push through it. At first, the bad drinks, and they're good drinks. These are good drinks. But for me, bad drinks, because drinks are all almost bad in a sense, most of the time.
So I'm a bartender.
Yeah, you're a bartender.
And I measured the first 2 shots we took. I didn't measure these. And I believe your shot glass is actually bigger in volume than mine. But the first 2 were measured and they were equivalent.
This looks like the same amount I had last time.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks like
It's definitely more. It's definitely more.
Well, I remember because I downed it, and it was like there was a second where I had to stop, swallow a little bit because it was too much, and then swallow the second bit. Like, oh. So, it seems the same to me.
Anyways, yeah, whenever you're ready, whenever you want to do that, we can do that. But yeah, that's Undetected. The article I read said it was coming this year, but there's no date in the trailer that I can see. Which is unfortunate because I would like to play it.
Yeah, I was looking for it when it finished, but guess not right. Not yet.
Just nothing going on there. Connor, I guess let's talk about. Have you been playing anything this week?
I mean, I've been continuing Stranger of Paradise.
Stranger of Paradise.
As far as anything, I mean, I picked up Valorant again. Nothing that I've been playing. I talked about Stranger of Paradise last week. It's definitely a game where I've kind of understood that it's not one that I want to keep on going on. So I'm gonna probably
you're gonna pick it up, put it down.
Well, I'm still gonna consistently play it, but I'm just gonna interchange it with like online multiplayer games and maybe start another single player game. I had a mind for one, but I can't remember it at this moment in time. But this, oh shit, yes.
You've heard about this too.
I was literally thinking about getting this one.
Dude, I told you before the show. I installed like 3 games onto my PC.
Oh, this is
literally one of them. Neon White.
I heard it's great.
Which this doesn't look like the footage that I've been looking at.
I think it's a little joke thing.
It's a little start intro thing. Okay. So Neon White is on Switch and on PC. I installed it on PC. You should also install it on PC so that we can compare because it's a first-person shooter platformer where like it's all about like getting your best times through the level time trials and all of this stuff and clearing it. So I think you should definitely get it on PC, Connor, so that we can compete against each other while we play it. Seems to be some kind of like Persona-esque story going on in it, in the sense that like it's text-based things and they're little cutouts of the characters and stuff. So instead of like the typical like gun that comes up on the screen, you're just kind of like throwing cards out, but it's not a card game. These are just like abilities that you're using that take the shape of cards. This game has kind of been making the rounds on my Twitter feed. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it.
I had seen somebody who had played Elden Ring and was gushing about it, like many other people were online at the time it came out.
Gushing about Elden Ring.
Exactly. But they said that this is, and this is only from one person, they said it was Game of the Year contender by how much fun they were having.
I'm hearing a lot of great words about it.
Have you not played it?
I have not touched it yet.
You
I literally installed it Last night before.
Okay.
I think it was the night before that I installed it because I was busy. I was busy with the girlfriend yesterday.
Yeah.
Didn't have time.
I might pick this up tomorrow. Then I have free time tomorrow.
Do it, my man.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'm spending that day on PC anyway. So.
Yeah. And then more thoughts on this next week's usual scheduled podcast.
Yeah.
We'll have some thoughts on it. But yeah, it's this plus
Like the style too.
I also installed Sunset Overdrive because I saw it was on Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I love Insomniac. I love Insomniac games. Sunset Overdrive is a whole, along with the Resistance games, in my Insomniac games knowledge, because I'm a big Ratchet and Clank fan. Obviously, I'm playing the Spider-Man games as they come out. I'll be playing Wolverine when that comes out. But, people loved Sunset Overdrive, those who played it. But not too many people played it because it was strapped on Xbox, and not too many people at the time had Xboxes. So yeah, I'm going to be playing Sunset Overdrive at some point. At least I plan to. And then finally, I've also downloaded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
That just came out, right? Or a remaster of it? I saw
No.
some
This is a new game.
Okay, it's a new game? I saw some activity about it, but I had no clue about anything about it.
Yeah, so I'm just playing the IGN review here. Shout out to IGN for reviewing games like they always do.
Shout out to Wendy's for always getting me a good place to get
to
breakfast.
Wendy's for their ads on my YouTube feed.
Yeah, well, hey, they help me during work.
Dude,
in the
Wendy's
morning.
sounds like it would actually smack right now.
You know what's good from Wendy's? The
What's
seasoned
that?
potatoes. I've had to get them a
Seasoned
lot.
potatoes?
Yeah, they usually sell them with the breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
You know what's actually great from Wendy's?
What?
The spicy chicken sandwich.
Is it? I didn't really like all their chicken stuff.
I actually really like their spicy chicken sandwich.
Huh.
Like, I really like it. So yeah, TMNT Shredder's Revenge in that classic arcade beat 'em up format, as much of the old 90s TMNT beat 'em up games are. 8-player co-op or 6-player, something like that. I've got it installed right now because it was also on Game Pass, so I'll be playing around with it. It's not too long, it's not too big, classic arcade styled game. I'm gonna give it a shot. Beat 'em ups aren't my jam typically, but I've been hearing pretty damn good things about this. And you know what? I thought, we're in a slow season. It's a small game. Let me go ahead and give it a shot. Why not? And it's on Game Pass.
Who do you think about playing? I don't know anything about this game, like I said, so I don't know if you can constantly change who you're wanting to play.
Maybe from level to level. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. April seems cool though. I've always liked her design with her yellow jumpsuit.
Really?
Yeah.
Not like you to play as the lady character.
Yeah, I've always liked her.
Let me see here. What did IG end up giving it? Verdict? Jump ahead.
I'm predicting an 8 out of 10.
Predicting a 7. That's what I'm predicting.
I've seen some good things
Verdict?
about it, so I'll go with 8.
Wendy's!
Wendy's.
Wendy's! Anyways.
If it's gonna be someone, it should be someone else.
Do you have Game Pass?
No.
No?
Because I'm just like, I'm not spending much time on PC right now.
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
lot of the games that I'm going to be playing here in the next couple weeks are not going to be PC games.
Yeah.
I'm planning on playing Catherine. I really want to pick up Witcher 3, but
You're actually going to play Catherine?
I am, yeah. I'm preparing. Preparing for that. I still have Triangle Strategy to play. That's still a fun game that I'd be interested in revisiting again. Who knows if I'll beat it, but I want to revisit it at least.
I want to so desperately, but it's like, I just want you to be Fire Emblem, where Fire Emblem knew when to shut the fuck up and just let me play.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
I wish Triangle Strategy knew when to shut the fuck up and let me play, but it
It does
doesn't.
go on a lot.
Oh, you can play as Master Splinter?
Yeah,
I can play as
yeah.
Master Splinter, I'll be honest.
And you can play as, what's his name? The guy with the hockey mask?
Casey.
Casey, yeah.
Yeah, Casey
Jones.
was another one that I was thinking about playing as.
he's
I
cool.
don't know. As far as the Turtles themselves, I was always a big Raphael guy. I liked me some Raphael.
Right.
So.
I always forget.
8 out of 10.
Yeah,
You nailed it
right.
from IGN.
There
we
you go. There we go. Nice.
Who
Great.
reviewed this?
Who did? Maybe we've seen them do some of the articles.
Mitchell
No.
Saltzman. Shout out to Mitchell Saltzman reviewing Shredder's Revenge.
So I guess I'll go into the next topic.
Yeah.
It's more of a recommendation than a plea, but a game that I finished recently. I talked about it here on the show that I just keep on going back to, just in my mind. Like I find myself thinking about it when I'm shitting and things like that. It's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. That old game.
Really?
It's a great game. The more
Is
I
it
think
really?
about it seriously is pretty great. Now, one of the downsides to it, the biggest downside, which has been covered in some reviews that I've seen, is the combat. The combat's kind of like,
This is where you're gonna lose me, Connor. Combat's
It's
really
not-
important to me.
But that's the thing. It's a short game, so it's not, and there's not, and the combat's not bad, I would say. Some people have been harsher on it than I was in my mind.
Better than Guardians?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would say it's better than Guardians. Okay. Yeah, there's more stuff way more
Guardians
stuff
to
you can do.
me is the game that, like, that's the benchmark for me of like, that is where I fall off. Where like that combat was just over the line. If you're better than that, I'll give you a chance. If you're at that level or below, no, I'm cool. I don't need you.
And that's leading into that. Part of the reason why it can be good is because you have lots of access to abilities. Because it's one of the best RPGs I've kind of played. Because it drops you right in the middle of this world, which has its roots as a tabletop game, similar to D&D. That's its origins. And it jumps you just in the middle of a game with a bunch of politics going on, lore for the world that's tucked on a little bit. Yeah, because there's tons of different factions in California, which is where the game takes place. And you're not really given all the details right off the bat, and you're trying to find who you want to side with. Who's the player that you're going to be on the be going along on a big decision with. I know what your decision is going to be if you ever played that game, but it really gives you lots of customizability with the clans that you could do. Because
customization? Or
customization. It's pretty lengthy because a lot of the game is centered around the clans that you choose, the race of the vampires, in a sense.
I can't even remember what this game looks like. I've seen it.
It's older. So it's 2004, but it's easy to play on PC. It's cheap. It's $20, but always
Bloodlines you're playing?
Yes. There's a new one in the works, or has been for a while, and it's just not coming out. It's just really
the new one is that
it's the one that's delayed over and over and over again.
Isn't it like a battle royale game?
No, it's an RPG. They did that, but they originally announced a new RPG. But when that got delayed a bunch, they released this Bloodlines that I guess they had been working alongside that and was ready before the actual game. But who knows if that's ever going to come out? One of the great, seriously, the RPG elements are what make this game, because you can go through many situations without having to have a fight. You can use
is like a full breakdown. I don't.
It is, yeah.
I don't want this.
No! Go down that first top video. That's a great review of it, by the way, just on its own. It's it's how I found out about the game.
Shout out to SF
Zingtach.
Zingtach?
Pause this video. Actually, no. He has lots of gameplay intersected with images of like jokes and whatnot. So it probably won't. See, it did a lot of this stuff. So he does long streams of gameplay, which would work, but it'll be interjected with like images.
Oh,
here we go.
Shit. 2004?
2004, around that.
What are you doing playing all these old ass games, Connor?
Because this review. This is how I found out about it.
Oh, okay.
My friend Spencer played it and was like, yeah, it's great. And then I was interested in it, and I picked it up, and I had a blast playing it.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, you have... That's a Tremere ability. So there's lots of ways, like I said, to go through the game. You can have blood magic. You can be very focused on just physical attacking. You can go lean heavy into the, I'm going to convince this person or seduce this person to do what I want, rather than fight them or do, threats. Which, basically, there's lots of different ways you can carry out the game, which hikes up playability, and every single way can have some kind of new enjoyment. So, for example... I'm going to visit it again at some point, because the first gameplay I did was as a Tremere, which is effectively a blood mage. It gave me access to so many cool powers that allowed me to resolve situations where I was like, how are you going to do this if you don't have the mind wash ability, where you can just make them not even basically see you? Like, how do you get by that? But each clan has their own way of circumventing groups of enemies, so you're always going to get
I like this sound. All of this shit sounds cool to me.
Now, the reason why I want to revisit it is because one of the clans is Clan Malkavian, and it breaks the third wall. Like, you can be walking by TV, for example, a TV with a newscast on it, and the newsman will start talking to you. You're like, hi, how you doing? And you ask him, how's it smelling there? Kind of musky. And you have weird game-breaking moments that also interject a lot of, what's the word? Things knowing things before they happen. Precognition. It involves a lot of that. So you're actually getting story and plot details, but not if you hadn't played if this is your first time playing the game, you won't know exactly what that is. Like right here, right here, for example. So like in that segment, the news guy again, he's like, and the cause of this incident was you.
Dude, this is cool.
Yeah, and there's special.
This is before video games like got all like suit and tie and like started taking themselves seriously.
Troika
and they were
Games.
like, let's do some fucking weird shit.
Do you remember Troika Games?
Who?
Troika Games.
What did they make?
This and other things that I can't remember off the top of my head, but you would have seen them, I think, highly likely. But yeah, that's a way. I'll be able to go through the game again with all of these interesting little fun bits that, I didn't get the first time. One of the last thing about the diversity of it, Nosferatu. I think he's using him right there. There's this whole thing called the Masquerade, which is laws in vampire society, which is what the game is really centered around. A whole society of vampires that try to stay away from the public eye. And if you break the Masquerade, which is those rules, you get executed if you break too many of them.
Is it an open world RPG?
It is open world, but it's more broken up into zones rather than a large, condensive map.
Okay.
And the zones themselves aren't that big, but they have a pretty good amount of stuff to do in them.
Yeah.
But it's a short game. So you're not really dedicating lots of time to even beating it, which is why I would recommend it to you.
Sure.
Because it's not, like, at the most, if you do as much as you possibly can, which you don't need to, 20 hours. But it's easily less than that. Easily less than that.
Connor, you're pissing me off week to week now.
Why is that?
Because you now but between Strangers of Paradise and this, I don't have time to play these fucking games right now, Connor. Where were you a month ago when I needed you?
Well, in my defense, I did recommend you Vampire the Masquerade a little bit ago. So
Did you?
I did. When I was
remember
playing
that.
I said, I think it was interjected with my review. You know, I'm just saying you should play it, as everyone should, because it's
Review of
great game. Really good game.
review of what?
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
When did you review this?
Not really review, like talking about it on the show. For
This
what
is
we've
like
been
a
playing.
long ass time ago.
From what we've been playing. Pretty recently. Just
Look at me being such a good co-host. Anyways, Connor, you said Catherine's like pretty much up on your list, right?
It is.
Up on your God damn it, fucking
you're drunk, Tavin.
computer. I'm not. Anyways, Connor, so I imagine you'll be playing Catherine full body.
I will. I even know what route I'm going to do.
Do you?
Because I know some bits of the game,
Okay.
and I know the one that I want to do.
You gonna follow Catherine with the Q here?
Is that it? Jeez.
Catherine with the C, Catherine with the K, Catherine with the Q.
Well, definitely Q.
Q.
Definitely.
Q's that new character that they've introduced.
right there.
I haven't seen that route. I've only seen Catherine with a K's route. The quote unquote like true good ending or whatever. Yeah. Oh man, they're doing the extra shit in this. I don't want. Hold on.
It's full gameplay.
Yeah. PlayStation 5, I assume you'll be playing on?
No, Switch.
Really?
No.
Oh,
Live.
okay. I mean, I guess you could. Honestly, that might work out okay if it's worth playing on Switch. You'll have to look up review. You're going to do it on PlayStation.
Yeah, I wouldn't
All
even
right.
second guess that.
There's Catherine is unironically one of my favorite video games. And like I fully really enjoy this game. I think its gameplay is challenging and like really fun to like watch and stuff. All of it's like Atlas likes to do its sim section and then its gameplay sections. You see them in the Persona games and you see them in the SMT games and stuff like this. So like half of it is like a puzzle platformer. The other half is just like a relationship sim where you're texting your hoes and you get any things here. Let me see if I can get. It's 10 minutes of gameplay, IGN. It's all the fucking relation. It's not even the real gameplay.
IGN did that with Stranger of Paradise as well. I get why they do it because it's the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes. But yeah, you don't see much in those kinds of things.
Here, this will work.
This is one of the ones I've seen.
The IGN
The
reviews,
review.
'cause they're just what's popping up on YouTube. Anyways, yeah, we played it on Hype, by the way. You can check out the After the Hype review live now, where Phil played through it for the first time, and he really enjoyed it. I think Catherine is easily one of the most underrated video games of all time. Really solid game. I think Vincent, your main character, is just a piece of shit. He's a piece of garbage.
Oh yeah.
And personally, like, I think, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that because I don't want to get into spoilers. But yeah, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this game. I think it's gonna really, the story is gonna really throw you for a trip, and I think you're gonna have a lot of fun in the story of the game.
Like I said though, I do know some plot details.
Do you?
Yeah.
What do you know?
I know that
Spoilers.
Spoilers. I know that you. Okay, I don't have the full picture. But first thing I know is that the bartender or something like that's like the devil or something like that. He's causing you to do everything. He's basically causing all the problems. I know that in one of the endings, Catherine with a K goes fucking crazy and kills you and C with a C or Catherine with a C or the Catherine. One of the endings, everyone dies or a lot of people die, get axe murdered.
I don't know anything about it. I know the one ending.
Oh, you do?
Okay,
then I won't say.
I know the true ending.
I
so
know there's 4 endings with the new game, full body, at least. I don't know about.
Yeah, they did
that.
add extra endings for that.
Yeah.
2 of which are Catherine with the Q, and then there's
2 of which, really?
I think so. Pretty sure.
Oh, it'd just be 1 for each.
I don't know.
But I do know one of the endings, which I won't say because who knows if you get that next time you play it, whenever that is.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. So I won't say that.
This
but
is always a game that I would like to platinum, but dude, it's a
Too heavy.
fucking, it's a lot. There's a lot going on in this game
Right.
to platinum it. But yeah, Catherine's a great fucking game. I think you'll enjoy it, but the gameplay is just not. I don't think the gameplay is for you.
that's the only thing that's turning me off from it. Why
Yeah.
I didn't play it back in the day, and why I'm not jumping at the bit to play it now.
Yeah.
How-
But like,
Oh,
go ahead.
So no, you go for it. Oh, okay. How long is it?
Oh
Doesn't seem long.
no, it's not.
8
10
hours?
hours,
Okay.
maybe. Yeah, 8 to 10 hours. Me and Phil did it in 2 sessions, I think, 2 or 3. Our streams have been shorter. Like, I think it was we did it in 3 sessions, but the first session and the last session were short sessions because we were finishing a game. Like, we finished a game that I was playing, and then he started playing, and then 1 full day of Catherine, and then we beat it on the 3rd day. And then started playing something else after that. So, like, really, we could have done it in 2, is what I'm basically saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gameplay is just not for you. It's a level of thinking, like, not critical thinking, but like sort of like on your feet thinking and flexibility that I don't know if it would play for you. I think you're actually going to really struggle with the gameplay. But I would really push you to see it through all the way beginning to end.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, but puzzle games are not my forte. They never
Yeah.
have been.
I mean,
But
they
I'll
do
try
a
it.
lot to shake it up level to level by throwing in different block types and stuff. And there, for most of the levels, there's no one true answer. Stage 7, I think. I think it's 7 or 8. They run you through a gauntlet of levels, which is my least favorite part of the game, where there is only one true answer. And that's annoying. Most of it, you can kind of freestyle your way. And there's a lot of, like, the game is forgiving.
Yeah.
And I'll say, as soon as you feel like, oh fuck, I fucked up, they have a rewind mechanic where, like, you know, each time you pull out a block, that's one move, and then you build up rewinds, and every time you click the button, like a block goes back to its original state. My tip to Phil, and that he was struggling to get in his head, and like all these things where the blocks are connected, that's extra shit. That's not in the default game settings.
Okay.
But things like bomb blocks and ice blocks and monster blocks, those are in the default game, but it takes a while to get there.
And you would even say, even with all this being said, and it's the weakest part of the gameplay, you said?
No.
Oh, it's not the weakest part?
Oh no, I love it.
Oh, okay.
I adore it. It's just not for you.
Yeah,
Literally,
okay.
like this right here, where you're playing as a sheep. This is like a forever mode where you're just going and going and going and going. It's great. It's so much fun. I adore it. But the narrative is really good and really gripping as well.
Yeah, looking at this gameplay once again, it is literally, like, honestly,
This is my thing.
it
Is
doesn't do anything for me at all.
mechanically, I would not recommend this game to you, but as an overall package, I do think you'll actually enjoy it. But it'll never appear on one of your favorite game lists ever.
It might if the story's impressive enough.
Yeah,
that's the thing that draws me.
to me, it would crack top
20?
30,
Okay, more reasonable.
maybe top 30. It would crack my top 30.
Oh, okay. What was my thought?
Go ahead.
To smooth your worries about whether I finish this or not, I will finish it because I
yeah?
want to see the story, and if
Yeah.
I need to, I'm going to do a shameful thing. I'm just going to look up a guide.
The stage, I think it's stage 7. Whatever stage it is, like, I looked up a guide for that stage.
Damn. Okay.
Because it's annoying. It's really annoying. And Phil, like, when I was sitting there for Hype, twitch.tv/2pennygames, if you want to watch us play video games live, every Tuesday we do a show called Hype, Have You Ever Played?, in which me and Phil show each other video games the other has never seen before. We just finished Resident Evil 3 Remake. It was fun. I think we're playing Spyro 3 this next week.
Spyro.
But yeah, here, let me look up Catherine.
I'll beat this game. I can save
it's
this
stage
game well.
7. So like there are 8 or 9 stages throughout the game, and then there's sub-levels. So like 7-1, 7-2, 7-3, 7-4. One of them specifically is super fucking annoying because there is one answer and it's tricky. I looked it up, and then Phil was like, okay, give me some time to try and figure it out. And he kept like almost getting it. And then he would and then like the only thing I would say is like, hey man, when you get to the point to where like your rewinds will no longer help you, I'm gonna tell you you've gone too far. And he went, okay, bet. And we went through that process like 4 or 5 times. And then he was like, all right, fuck it. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the answer? And then I told him the answer, and he went, fuck. I was literally like 2 blocks away.
In that case, I think I'll probably do there's rewinds, I'm guessing. Obviously, you rewind it, and then because you can...
It just rewinds you to your last move.
Okay. So in that case, what I'll probably do, I'll do what you recommended kind of to Phil, which is when that rewind runs out, I'll just look up guides. I'm not going to stress.
You misunderstand how that function works.
Oh, okay.
So you start every stage with 3. A stage represents a night.
Yeah,
you're basically like going through an entire stage before you go back to the story. And at every level, they start you at 3 rewinds, I believe, and then you pick up little power-ups to increase the number of rewinds you can have. It's not literally use them willy-nilly, because so you start at 3, but your counter says 0 of 3, and then you move a block. Now it's 1 of 3. And then you move another block, and it's 2 of 3. And then you move a third block, and you go, fuck, I fucked up. So you use all your rewinds to rewind you all the way back if you choose to. And then the next time you move a block, you gain another rewind. Like, it's literally like just to like bring you back a little bit. It's not going to set you like, and that's why I'm saying don't be afraid to use the rewinds.
Yeah.
Like, it's a core mechanic of the game to where you go, fuck, I fucked up. And not only did I fuck up right now, I fucked up 7 moves ago. So I need to go all the way back.
Yeah.
And you can increase your rewinds as you play through the level and so forth. There's also other things that they use to help you through. There's items you can pick up. Like there's an item where like you use it and you hop up 2 blocks instead of just 1 block. There's an item that there are enemies on the stage that will get in your way and will fight you. It's not it's literally like you move into their space or they move into your space and they knock you off. There's an item that kills everybody on that stage. There's an item that sets all blocks to be regular blocks instead of things. There's an item that you're building up a tower. So like there's an item that just gives you a 3x3 floor, so you have a lot more space to work with, and so on and so forth. It's a lot of stuff like that. Use your items. There's a currency in the game. In between every level of a stage, you reach like a landing in which you talk to your characters, and you there's a shop in which you can buy items for the next level, and so forth. Don't be afraid to use any of those. I don't use the items because I'm not a fucking
You're a pro gamer.
Pleb. I'm a pro gamer.
You're like me when you didn't use any action spirits to beat Millennia. You just go with your raw dog experience.
But I'm not going to blame you for using items in Catherine. You wanted to use the items, use the items. Use the fucking items.
I have no pride with puzzle games.
And also in the full body version is easier because Catherine with a Q helps you.
Oh.
Yeah. She basically slows down time so that you have more time to finish the level.
Yeah. That'd be good then.
One last tip. Talk to everybody.
I would do that anyway. That's what I do in games like this.
You are on a time... When you're in the bar, you're on a timer.
Oh, well.
Characters will get up and leave. And if you don't talk to them, there's a chance you may never see them again. You got to talk to them. Keep their morale up. You got to keep their storylines
okay. That's another aspect.
Yeah.
See, that's part of gameplay that I would like.
Don't waste time in the bar. When you're on the landings, talk to whoever you want. Whatever. But, like, if you're in the bar and you see somebody and it seems like, hey, man, he's really on edge, go talk to him first because he might kill himself in the next level.
Oh, I see.
Stuff like that.
Real quick, before we go any further,
Yeah.
I'm going to get this shot out of the way because I think I have enough alcohol right here to keep me going for the remainder of how long we're doing this.
I don't know how long we're doing. We could
Neither do I, but as of right now, I think I just want to get the shot over with so I don't have to
sure.
sit in there.
There we go.
Full of stuff.
To 100 episodes, my friend.
100 episodes.
100
Again.
episodes.
This is going to hurt. See, that felt less than last time.
See, I didn't think that was going to hurt when you said it was going to hurt, and then it hurt.
I think the Sprite helped out. I'm going to start puking next.
Anyways,
Go
ahead.
I want to like bring up the next topic for right now.
Yeah.
Just because it's while we're in the talk on replaying things. Recently we announced to those of you that don't know that we wanted to do a game each month.
A video game book club. If you will.
Book club. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's how we've been putting it. But the first game we're doing is Last of Us. Still haven't started that. I was gonna start it today, but I guess I'll start it probably Saturday. But either way, we're going to be doing one each month. One of the ones that I'm going to bring up to you now, I don't know if I had in the past, that I want to be on that list, and now that I said it out loud, maybe I'm regretting it, is The Witcher 3. Because a month, I started second guessing it myself because I want to experience that game in its entirety rather than trying to go through it. Because I never finished the original Witcher 3, so I
never got to the even the main story.
No, I never finished.
Wow.
I finished the fight with Cersei and the other Witchers, and then shortly after that time,
there's not even that much game left.
there's not. I just didn't finish it.
I mean, you still have some game ahead of you. Don't.
Yeah, I'm not discounting that, but I do want to go back to it and play the DLCs. That's going to be my next big,
DLC is a lot.
hoodle. Yeah,
DLC is a lot.
Yeah, I'll probably. I'm not as like you. It seems so far where there's lots of games here in the winter that I need to play. There's games that I want to play.
I've got a busy winter.
Yeah,
there's a lot of games in the winter I want to play.
Yeah, I don't have a busy winter yet, so I think I'm going to carry on this replaying thing, revisiting old stuff for a little bit while I can do it. As long as there's no games that are coming out that I'm chomping at the bit to get.
Well, we've got the next thing that's on my radar is Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which seems to be getting decent reviews.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know the reviews came out yet.
Yeah, it's getting because of those warrior type games, it's getting a lot of it's what you expect from a Warriors game, but they're doing enough with the Fire Emblem side of things that newcomers might enjoy this too. So I'm gonna try it. I've got the demo installed. It's one of those Nintendo Switch things where your demo progress carries over. So I'm gonna play the demo. I'm gonna give it a shot, and try that. And then next month we have Stray, and those are the next two big games that are on my radar right now that I really, really want to play. From there, I'm freestyling everything that I'm doing.
Strangers of Paradise and Vampire.
No, I'm not doing those. I've got too much on my plate already. Between Shredder's Revenge and Sunset Overdrive and Neon White, which are all games that I want to play, and then I think I actually need to start playing Fire Emblem this week. So from there, I'm back to being busy again. I don't remember what's happening after Stray, but there's a couple of things happening that I do want to touch as they go through the year. The next big game that I'm thinking of is Callisto Protocol in December.
But yeah, that's a while away though.
It is a while away. Yeah, it's December 12th, I think, or the 3rd or something.
I thought it was the 9th.
I can't remember. Callisto Protocol is currently my most anticipated game right now. Do you? I'm a huge Dead Space fan, specifically 1 and 2. 3 sucked. I always personally liked 2 more, but I get why there's fans of 1 and why 1 is a quote unquote fan favorite. But I always really, really loved 2.
2's great.
2's great. And you recently went through and played 1 and 2,
Yeah.
so you would know better than me. I haven't played them in years.
Yeah, both hold up extremely well.
Yeah.
Extremely well. By the way, real quick, Callisto Protocol, December 2nd. A little bit early.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. Not as late as I thought.
Yeah, so Callisto Protocol is my next most highly anticipated game that I'm playing. I can't even remember what's coming out later this year. But yeah, the straight up makers of Dead Space director, you look at that game and you go, "Oh, this is Dead Space."
Yeah.
Unapologetically, we're just doing Dead Space again. And I'm so amped. I'm so literally shooting limbs. We're not doing anything different. The HUD is on the back, your health is on the back and everything. I'm this is unapologetically Dead Space.
And they wanted to keep the fire of Dead Space, the original franchise, alive, which is good because it's a solid game that was just kind of abandoned unnecessarily. It ended
EA
very
fucked
badly.
that, man. EA fucked that.
With Visceral Games, they screwed them over.
Oh, they fucked them over so hard.
Yeah,
and
they
imagine your Visceral Games, you're making great games, you're about to put out this Star Wars game, and they just fucking shut you down. And then a few years later, they announce a remake to the game that put you on the map. Fuck off. Fuck you.
At least they're going to bigger, broader horizons.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Callisto Protocol. We got some great horror games coming up. As you know, I'm a big horror game fan.
Yeah.
You dabble.
I like them, though.
You
when
like
I play them. I do like them.
You dabble.
I just don't actively try to grab those and play them.
Oh, I
as
do.
much as possible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, literally, the Quarry is up right now from the Until Dawn guys, and I'm itching. I'm I just need a good weekend. Just give me a good weekend, and I'm gonna knock that bitch out.
Those are short games.
Yeah. But yeah, Callisto Protocol, currently my most anticipated game right now of the year. And if it delivers, and if it hits its date, that's going to be my game. I feel like that's going to be my game of the year.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I could be wrong though. But as a horror game fan, I'm eating right now. I've got a lot. I've got Last of Us Part 1 coming in September, which is why we're doing our Last of Us remastered book club. And I'm sure we'll have a review for Part 1 coming whenever that comes, September 2nd, I think. Which, do you feel like we kind of shot ourselves in the foot? Like, are you going to be playing part? I don't know if I ever got your.
You see, I said it, but I wasn't like it was kind of tacked on to the end. I'm happy we're playing this one right now because I don't think I'm going to buy the new one.
No?
Yeah, just solely on the principle of like, okay, I know gameplay is going to be different.
Yeah.
And I know the visuals are better.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people who have argued that the visuals aren't better. I think they are.
They're smoking crack.
Yeah. But that being said, like $70 for like slight changes from a game
It's a
like
lot.
that, it's just a little bit too much.
I agree.
If we were still on the $60 price range, if we were on a $50 price range, I'd probably go for it.
Here's my thing. Why is it not bundled with Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's it. That's an undeniable, like, fuck, I get two of the greatest games ever made. I know you don't love Last of Us 2 as much as I, but even you're like, I like that game. That's a good game.
That would honestly justify a purchase more, because at least I can say, okay, at least they're trying to give value to this.
Right.
Even if I already got that value, you know, I'm not going to play Last of Us Part 2 again, as of right now. So
and also, like, no multiplayer?
yeah, no
For
multiplayer.
either game? Like, that's going to be its own standalone game? Like, I'm with that critique, that complaint, I get.
Yeah.
You're asking for a lot for a game we've already played. I understand gameplay is going to be more like 2. Level design is probably going to be different.
But I already played 2, unfortunately. I experienced it.
What are you really giving us? Like, we know what that experience... We know exactly the experience we're going to get.
Yeah, we do.
Well, we don't know exactly, but we have, a couple of ideas.
As consumers, we have enough of an idea to decide whether we want to buy it or not, which is the issue, because from someone like me, I don't see a reason to buy it, especially when I have other games that I'd rather revisit and play the old ones that I haven't played before I do Last of Us Part 2, Part 1, a remake, especially after I just played the old one. Because the reason why I consider this game so great is a mixture of the gameplay and the story. And the gameplay can be improved upon, which is I know what would happen with.
I'll tell
Part
you right
2.
now, on this playthrough, the gameplay is showing its age.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give too much away because we want a full video review of that. But the gameplay is showing its age.
But even despite that, it's I'm gonna play it. Whether it's showing its age or not, I'm gonna play the old one again.
Yeah.
Going back to the first one again, just with 2 gameplay, just not really bringing me in, unfortunately.
Yeah. I guess I'm more excited because as it seems like we're playing it very safe with this.
Yeah.
With The Last of Us Part 1. And I agree, we are. But there is a level of experimentation to it where the first Last of Us came out at the end of the PlayStation 3 generation. So it's already old hardware. And then it really caught a groove on the PlayStation 4 with the remaster.
That's when I first played it.
Yeah, like you. But you played an old game. Like,
Yeah.
that game was a year plus old by the time you played it. It was on old hardware. You were playing on new hardware that wasn't getting that we weren't taking advantage of all of its like ability yet until we really hit halfway-ish through where we started getting titles like God of War and Spider-Man and Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Like, that's when, like, the PS4 really, like, took the fuck off and hit its groove, and now we're putting banger after banger after banger out. So now, I don't want to give away too much, but it's an undisputed fact, I think, that The Last of Us 1 story is phenomenal. It's a tried and true story. You've seen it before, but it's executed at a level that to where you're undeniable level where you're like, that's a great fucking story.
Yeah.
So much so, like, it's so good that even when it does translate to TV, and I have played the remaster and I will play the remake, when the HBO series does come out, I will watch that too, because the story is that good. It's gameplay being 2 generations old, I think gives plenty of room for us to be like, okay, yeah, we're on some shit now.
Yeah.
Like, with that level of update, if they do it right, like, like part 1 might retake its place as my favorite of the two. Like if they take all the steps necessary, we'll see. So the level of experimentation that they're playing with that of like, okay, yeah, this game's not old, and it's still highly accessible.
Yeah.
But like, it's not quite like we could do it better. You know, like you look at that gameplay and you go, passable, but we could do it better. Let's do it better and make the best game ever made. You know.
It's gonna be a hard sell for a lot of people. I don't know what the final sale is gonna be for that game, but I think it's gonna be lower than what would have.
Well, I think they're really smart about putting it out when they're putting it out, because it's gonna come out. It's gonna have a pop. People are gonna play it. Everyone's gonna enjoy it, I assume. There might be some conversation of, is this worth $70? I don't know. That'll happen, but then the TV show will hit.
Yeah.
And then you remember back to when the Witcher TV show hit, and suddenly Witcher 3 was in the top 10 games sold again, and everybody was playing The Witcher 3 again. And I think we're going to see a similar thing happen. So I think from a tactical move, this is a really smart move on Sony's part. Like the chess move is brilliant. But do we need this? No. There's games in Naughty Dog's what is the word I'm looking for?
I want to say catalog, yeah.
Catalog. That I think would work better for this. The first Uncharted desperately needs a remake. Desperately. That game, not great. But, you know, I guess everything in its own time. Last of Us is a bigger title, so it is what it is.
It's more in the people's minds right now because, you know, part 2 came out not too long ago, so it makes sense.
Yep.
It's just not something I don't think I'll be very interested in.
All right, so you're probably going to take a pass, but I am going to play it day 1, and I'm going to have a full review.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm going to do it. I love The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2 is my second favorite video game of all time. Before that was the first game, and the first game is still, if I just don't want repeat entries, especially because those two are so similar to each other, quote unquote. And the second game is just that much better than the first, in my opinion, in terms of mechanics. I think undoubtedly, feel whatever way you want about the story, fine. And I've actually got some interesting points that I'm going to raise in the part 1 review, in which I think the writing is better than 2, but that's to come. The second game, mechanically and technologically, undoubtedly better than the first game. Just the hunters. What are they called?
They're
the whistle fuckers. The whistle fuckers are whatever they're fucking called. Are so cool. So fucking cool. To where they have their own language, and you as the player start deciphering their language. And you start figuring out what their whistles mean and so forth.
Yeah.
That's brilliant design. Brilliant design. I also think the level design in 2 is really, really good, and I don't think we talk about it enough. Where the level design in 1 is passable, I think. Go ahead.
Level design was good. I had zero complaints about that.
From mechanics standpoint, I don't think you can talk shit about Last of Us Part 2. I think it's really that good. Anyways, let's talk about Witcher 3. Now, you bring up Witcher 3 for a video game book club.
The Seraphites.
The Seraphites,
That's
yes.
what they are, yeah.
They had a different name, too. But, the Seraphites was, the respectable name.
Yeah.
That's if you liked them, you played them. Witcher 3 is one of my favorite video games of all time as well. I think it's in my top 10 somewhere in there. I adore The Witcher 3. Here's the when does The Witcher 3 PS5 version come out?
November somewhere?
Because I'm totally down for playing it for our book club. We are going to have to take the whole month for that.
Yeah,
so we should strategize that to where a less busy month.
Yeah.
But if we do it, I would want to do it on PS5. So that I can get my trophies.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. Supposed to release in Q2 2022 on April 14th. Announced it has been delayed until further notice.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah. I think we covered it on this show. Plan to release Q4 2022. Okay. Put that one on hold then, Connor.
Yeah.
Put that one on hold. What do you got?
Oh, I'm going to get some water real quick.
Oh, you want some water?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it running.
Good. It's a drink stream, so obviously things are not going to be refined.
Yeah, we're not gonna keep it that clean.
You guys aren't worthy of that. Of seeing us at our best. You deserve to see us at our worst. We're drinking.
You fucking troglodytes.
Yeah.
You fucking chocolate frogs.
You guys live in the caves, don't you, with me? Huh? You guys like going to the cave tunnels? You like going to the cave tunnels? I like going to the cave tunnels. I love like walking through the muck.
Go get your fucking water. No, I'm okay.
I'm gonna bring you one.
That's a good idea. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Witcher 3 is a good pick for Connor. I love The Witcher 3. Witcher 3 is fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, like, when you talk about open world design and when you talk about quest design, like, can you get much better than The Witcher 3? Like, I mean, come on now. Like, the things they were doing with side quests in that game for 2015, unbelievable. Like, totally let's just talk about the fact that, like, Bethesda was top-tier god-level RPG makers, you drunk ass RPG makers, and CD Projekt Red, which had found some success with The Witcher 2, and arguably made the better RPG from another top tier RPG maker, BioWare, because they came out, I believe, the same year as Dragon Age 2, and Witcher 2 is a better RPG than Dragon Age 2.
That's not very hard, admittedly.
Oh yeah.
I need to play 2. I actually wanted to play that first.
Witcher 2?
Yeah, because you gifted it to me a little bit ago, and it's always interested me. Yeah. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. I think it was because it was like $1.99 as it totally goes. So
okay.
I
do that. If I see a game that's like that I love is like fucking on sale, I'll be like, yeah, sure, give it to all my friends so that maybe they'll pick it up and play it.
Yeah.
So fun note. So the Persona games are coming to Xbox.
Yeah.
As you and I know. But after that announcement, it was announced that they're also coming to PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. So I get to play Persona 4 Golden on PlayStation 5.
Your
I also get to play
excuse.
Persona 3 Portable.
Dude.
Which I'm excited about.
Before you search that,
Yeah.
I just gotta make a point. That game, Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria is one on the recommended on this page right here. Disappointing. It doesn't look good.
You played it?
No, it just looks disappointing.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you already were having a hard time selling it to me with
I
just
don't even
being
know
about
what this is.
Golem.
What is this?
It's the one. It's the Golem game.
It's the what?
The Golem game.
Oh, the Golem game.
You've heard about that. We talked about.
I have.
It just doesn't look very interesting. Doesn't look very refined. No? Yeah, I even think you commented on the gameplay that we saw a little while ago. It just isn't up to snuff as much as it should be.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Persona. I've got Persona 3 Fez installed on my PlayStation 3. I've had it installed for like a year.
Fez?
Yeah, that's one of the Persona 3 got multiple like upgraded versions, like Golden and Royale.
It's one of those.
But it got different versions of that. Persona 3 Portable has shit. One of them has the ability to take over control of your party members, because otherwise you just kind of set their behavior and then they act however the AI feels like it needs to act. And then the other version has a female player character.
Yeah.
I think Portable has the female playable character.
I want to say it does.
Which I think will help with playability, or replayability rather, because then you can play as the main guy and then you can play as the main girl and then, have yourself some fun that way.
Yeah.
But like, it's really fucking annoying in Persona 4 when the default setting is for the AI to control them. I much rather, like, I prefer it like P5 where like you just control your AI.
You don't do that in P4?
In P4 you do, but you have to change the setting. The default setting is for the computer to take care of it. You have to go and change it. In P3, the AI takes care of it.
Okay, I see.
Except for I think Fez. I think Fez is the version that does that. So it's unfortunate that like we can't get the best of both worlds there. But yeah, Persona 4 Golden is fucking one of the greatest video games ever made.
You never shut up about it.
I don't, Connor. So when it comes to PS5, you bet your ass I'm gonna be fucking playing it.
Yeah, you still love this game. I would like it too.
Oh, you would. Oh, you undoubtedly would.
It's just so long now.
It's so long. Yeah. I mean, it's shorter than P5. P5 is longer.
Yeah. That's a good thing. But even then, it's still long. Yep.
So we're in the middle of this like Persona like announcement season. That we covered it on the show when they announced it was. But like all year they're announcing shit for Persona. Like it's been a bunch of merch. Fucking get like fucking Joker on a fucking toilet plunger or some shit. I don't fucking know. the announcement that Persona is coming everywhere except for Switch. Which I think undoubtedly means Persona's coming to Switch eventually. Because that's where everybody wants Persona to be anyway.
Yeah.
I think we have to be building to a P6 announcement by the end of the year.
It was believed that they were going to announce that soon.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten it yet. But
P6 is coming.
That's a situation of a matter of time rather than a if. Because then they have no plans of dropping that Persona title, especially since it's finally reached its highest number of players.
Oh, well, P5 was supposed to be the last one.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No,
Made too much money.
The moment those sales were released, we knew they weren't making more. They were going to make more.
Good shit. Good shit. We're having fun here, Connor. I'm having a good time. Talking video games. What is I talked to Callisto Protocol. What is on your map right now?
Honestly, not much.
Really?
Like, as I was saying during the Summer Games Fest, lots of the things they were showing look good. They look good and serviceable to many people. I'm not one of those people. And I haven't found that game. Like, I'm going to play Callisto Protocol, definitely, but I haven't found that game to latch onto that's coming out this year, which I don't necessarily mind. Because I played Elden Ring. I got the game that I wanted this year. So now I can just go back, like I said before.
There's nothing on your radar right now.
Not like that I can think of off the top of my head, no. Going back to the Bethesda one thing, there's something there. There's not going to be anything from Bethesda.
Nah, you're tripping, dog. There's some shit. There's some shit.
There might be, but I can't think of it.
Here, I'm gonna find it.
Avowed wasn't announced. Avowed.
Well, yeah, they did their 12 months thing. Avowed isn't coming out in the next 12 months. We could have guessed that going into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Redfall, we'll see. I mean, Redfall's getting my money just because it's Arcane, but like that's enough. Like that's it. Like I'm not like blown away by anything.
You already trust them.
Yeah, like I trust them to make a good game. Let's look at our 2022 video game calendar.
Did you go to Wikipedia? Wikipedia has everything.
Fucking Game Informer, I believe it's Game Informer, puts out a great list that they go back and update all the time.
I believe you're
Game
right,
Informer,
actually.
GameSpot.
Game Informer, I would
I
think.
thought it was Game Informer. Here we go. There's gonna be something on this.
Yeah,
list for you,
here it is. So we can go up to June 23rd.
We're in June, so let's go June. Here we go. You don't care about Lake, Connor?
What? What is that?
Here, let's just jump straight to July. And I'm a little, I gotta read, ladies and gentlemen, so don't stick with me. You don't care about Stray. I wouldn't expect
it looks good.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3? July 29th?
Oh, that soon?
Yeah.
Well, I'll play that. Yeah, I'll play that.
There we go.
There's one. Okay.
Yeah, see, there's some games still coming out this year. I promise you there's still some games.
Let's see.
Cult of the Lamb coming out August 11th.
I may not play that right away. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah, that's a game I would definitely be like, okay, I'd rather play other games that I haven't played before.
That's a day one for me.
Okay, go up, please. I think I saw something that might have been Themia?
The Themesia?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Click on that if you don't mind.
August 9th? PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PC?
It seems this... Is that the... What game is that?
I don't fucking know. Again, look that up. I'm gonna come back to this list here. I fucked up. There we go. Hold on. We're on here, ladies and gentlemen. Now we get into the fun bits of the drunk podcast where me and Connor are just fucking useless.
Trailer.
Cult of the Lamb, August 11th. I'm excited for that. Are you excited for the Roller Drome, Connor?
No.
Me neither. Soul Hackers 2. Let me put this on your list, buddy.
Okay, here's the issue.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to say right off the bat, I haven't played Soul Hackers 1 yet. It's a good game. I actually have access to it, believe it or not.
Well, they're not connected to each other.
No, but the original Soul Hackers is like I said, so far I only played a little bit because it wasn't what I was looking for at that time, but it's great. It has the capabilities to be great consistently.
This is like a Persona type game, yeah?
Yes, it was the original Persona. It's based kind of like the original Persona. Like more related to Shin Megami Tensei than it is Persona.
Yeah. That hit my radar recently. I'm going to try that when it comes out.
Fair enough, yeah.
Is it on Game Pass? I think it's on Game Pass. Let me see here. Last of Us Part 1 we already talked about.
JoJo Bizarre Adventure All-Star.
You're going to play the fucking JoJo game?
Fighter. It's a fighter.
Come on.
It's a fighting game.
All right. Whatever.
You can easily pick that up with
fucking
like every now and then.
Dark Tide continuously looks lame as fuck to me.
I'm sorry. Dark Tide. That's the top right now.
Really?
Oh yeah. I love Vermintide 2. I love 40K, and this is looking to be one of the better 40K games. So I'm down
fine.
for it.
More power to you, Connor.
I got a rager for it.
Metal Hellslinger. I mean, granted, we're in September now, so I don't know what my schedule looks like because I'm going back to school in August.
Yeah.
So now I don't know I don't know if I'll be able to touch every game I want to touch.
My schedule is only going to free up as we get later in the year.
Yeah, mine is not. So guess who's going to be doing all of our reviews, Connor? Hey, Metal Hellsinger. That's that Doom-inspired rhythm game where you got to shoot the demons on beat. I want to play that for sure. Tunic is coming to PlayStation.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah, no. Marvel's Midnight Suns. You like XCOM?
But that gameplay that they showed recently wasn't exactly.
You're not into it? I'll give it a shot.
I might play it, but
I'm gonna give it a shot.
not
Forspoken,
crazy into it right now.
October 11th.
Same thing. It looks good, but it's like, that's gonna really depend on what I'm doing at that time.
Yeah.
If I'm, like I said, playing old games, depending on how good those old games are.
Well, you're gonna be our main reviewer, Connor. So you got to go play these video games.
I gotta play video games.
Plague Tale Requiem, October 18th. Gotham Knights, October 20th. The more they show, the less I'm interested.
Same here.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I was looking for a reason to like that game. And then we're pretty blank for the rest of the year, with the exception of Callisto Protocol and Pokemon.
There's
which
gonna be
you
more
don't
coming
care.
out.
We don't care about Pokemon here. Phil will be excited, of course. Callisto Protocol, I'll be playing undoubtedly. You cannot not let me play Callisto Protocol. But I mean, like, unannounced games that are said to be for this year. We've got. Let me scroll through here. I got Bayonetta 3. You never played the Bayonetta games, have you?
Never really had access to them.
Oh, they're on Switch.
Yeah, but I when they were coming out, when it was the hot heyday of Bayonetta, it was the other Wii U.
It was the Wii U's,
titles.
yeah. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis said to be coming this year. We'll see.
Yeah. It's on iOS too, which kind of hinders you from playing it.
Sucks. Yeah, we got to play it on mobile, but
it's got to come.
I mean, you can always just buy a Backbone if you want.
Maybe we'll see what the final form takes.
I don't have an iPhone, so I can't do that. Goat Simulator 3.
Wait, what? Yeah.
God of War Ragnarok. Is that game coming this year?
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is?
I think the fact that they've slowed down the news cycle on that rather than kick it up at this point.
Corey Barlog was teasing some stuff on Twitter. He was being a real tease.
Okay, in that case, maybe if the tease comes true,
we'll see.
We'll wait and see.
We'll see. Grounded said to be coming this year.
Don't know if we'll ever actually get into that.
I'm going to jump into Grounded. Hogwarts Legacy, I'm going to jump into. I know you're just kind of like, we'll see on that one.
Still up on that one.
I Am Jesus Christ.
Well, click on that. All right, what are you doing? Is it like Octodad?
I don't know.
You're just fucking around?
Hold on. Number of players. I don't know. This just brings me to a page. Yeah, this looks like some bullshit. Let's see here. Life is Strange. Marvel Spider-Man PC. Miles Morales, that is. Multiverses. I know Multiverses is kind of on your radar.
Multiverses.
Yeah, that's the Smash inspired DC game or whatever. Warner Bros. Game.
Yeah, we'll see if as time's going on, I've been like, wait, what game again?
Yeah, I don't know.
That game. I guess I'll play it.
I have zero interest. Let me see here. Hold on. There's got to be something else. I know there's something else in here.
You're reaching.
Dude, do you care about Star Wars Hunters?
What's that?
That's that weird like bounty hunter game where everybody's in an arena. It doesn't look very good.
Yeah, those couple words didn't really sell it. What's Squatch?
All right, I guess that's it for the end of the game.
We'll see more revealed later on. I guarantee.
We assume.
I would think so.
But yeah, Callisto Protocol currently at the top of my list. What did you say was at the top of your list? Fucking Dark Tide?
Dark Tide.
What
Easy.
the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Oh, yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Time to fuck up some Chaos Cultists, baby. Yeah. For the Imperium. Humanity.
You fucking moron. And then, like, where are we at with God of War, Connor?
I mean, I want to play. I want to play it. But,
yeah, but like that's like a when it comes type thing.
Because it's. I want them to take their time on it.
Right.
So whenever they release it, whenever they feel like it's necessary to release, fine by me.
All right.
Do what you feel is necessary.
That's fair. Connor, we're at 1:04 right now.
Okay.
Want to keep it rolling? Because we got a couple other things we were talking about.
And I want to bring up one of those.
Go ahead.
I mentioned it as an idea
Here,
beforehand.
I'm gonna put you on pause. I gotta take a piss.
You gotta take a piss.
I gotta piss. I'm the pisser. I'm breaking the stream.
You know what? Anybody who's watching this, I want to see some comments. Because we're drinking right now.
When the fuck do you ever check the comments?
I believe
You don't even watch our videos.
Believe it or not, I don't watch them. No, but I do check up on the view count and comments more than you might think.
Oh, okay.
So, to the comments for a plea from me, please, if you would, tell me what your favorite drink is. And now I know not everyone who may watch this is over 21 yet, so you may not be able to drink yet. But what do you like? What's your fancy? Because as I said before, old fashions are kind of on the up and up on my drink list. It gets you drunk fast. It tastes relatively good depending on how you make it and whatnot, what ingredients you use. As is the case with any drink or food that you cook, use the best ingredients you can get. And if you need to go on a budget a little bit, I'm rambling. The point is, leave in the comments what your favorite drink is, what you like to do, and if I ever have the chance to try them out, if I see one that I hadn't actually seen before, I'll give it a shot. I'm always looking to, like I said, I don't like the taste of alcohol. I don't really like any drink, or very few drinks at the very least. So as long as I get drunk, as long as I get a little tipsy, I'm fine. That's what I'm always looking for. So give me your recommendations down below in the comment section. And I was able to stall long enough for Tavin to come back. I think I'm pretty proud of myself. I am serious about those drink recommendations. Tell me what you love.
You gotta figure out what you like, man. You gotta figure it out.
But I like things, but I'm always looking for more things to like.
That's fair. That's fair.
Can't quit.
You wanna take a
quit.
shot?
What? Yeah. That's a. Let me get my Sprite ready. I have to make sure that my throat is clear of any kind of fireball juices.
Get everything in order here. There's not a lot of Sprite left in my can.
Not me either. But at least we have high quantities of Coca-Cola.
You're still sipping on your old fashioned?
I'm slow. So, what I was going to ask recently,
Yeah.
last time before you left, what are some of your favorite video game soundtracks that you've listened to? It's something that I've more and more focused on, especially with Elden Ring recently, where no soundtrack really stood out to me, but I started listening to it after the fact, and I was like, man, these are really well done soundtracks that are good in relation to their bosses as well. And of course, the running around music is good as well. They actually added some kind of music depending on which area of the game you were in, which was a good change as far as Dark Souls is concerned. Not that I minded the old silence and blowing of the wind and whatnot, but it's good to have change, as Elden Ring is very much proved. But as far as some of the best soundtracks in video games that's out there, one that I have to give credit to is The Witcher 3. Because even though I didn't play the entire game, obviously,
Some bangers in there.
there was never really any point where the music kicked in, and I didn't take notice of it. I was always like, okay, that got some nice guitars coming in, nice
Yep.
some string instruments,
Good vocals.
Yeah, very good vocals, which is what always draws me into those kinds
Good
of
in the
titles.
slow moments too. That's something that gets undervalued. It's good in the slow moments too.
Yeah. There's lots of high octane music for video games, as there should be. Because many of the best moments in games are high energy, and you need to have music accompanying it to improve those scenes. But the calmer, more relaxed moments that you go through, Persona 5 being another great example of a fantastic video game soundtrack, where the music that plays when you're going through your classes in the middle of the day is catchy. It keeps you going.
Bro, I undoubtedly Persona 5, and Persona 4. So I've got some songs just saved in my Spotify playlist.
So do I.
It's just my general liked songs Spotify. I've got some songs in there. The
Beneath the Mask.
Beneath the Mask is in there.
Great rain music.
I think Last Surprise and what's the other battle theme?
Bum, bum.
The Rivers in the Desert.
Rivers in the Desert.
Yeah.
Great.
But also the Persona 4 one that's great that they use in
And I face out.
Reach out to the truth.
Reach out to the truth.
Reach out to the truth. Oh, there it is.
I
Reach
love-
out to the truth. I would argue still the best one.
I love the intro music for Persona 4 Golden or
Really?
Persona 4.
I think it's okay.
I don't know what it's called. It's good though.
I skipped it every time I opened up the game.
Did you skip Persona 5?
But
as
also,
well?
I played on Vita And so like I never turned the game off. I just put the console to sleep and put it away. You know what I mean?
Not very privy to it very often.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, now that I think about it, it is in my head now. I can kind of put some of the notes together, but not enough to give it to you.
Yeah.
Persona's always in my liked Spotify, but like also, I've got a sad boy playlist for when I'm a little sad.
Any game in particular that occupies that a lot?
Persona 5 has some
the-
bangers, some sad bangers, man. Beneath the Mask is one of them. There's a couple of other ones in there that like I can't think of right now, but
Neither
like
can I.
just some nice like, little piano ballads that like
Yeah.
when you're kind of down, when you're having a rough time, when you're the night has crept in and the feelings of night have had. Dude, how great does this game look? Anyways, this is
Plague Tale.
Plague
2.
Tale Requiem.
Requiem. Yeah.
This game looks great. I'm excited for this game. But yeah, the Persona ballads have some great sad boy energy that will really get you through some tough times. I'll tell you that right now. So I see your Witcher 3. I see your Persona. I'm gonna raise you a Mass Effect trilogy. And
Underrated.
underrated for sure.
More subtle.
I think specifically 3. Now, objectively, 2 probably has the best soundtrack, but I think specifically 3. I think of the Earth, the Return to Earth theme. I think it's called, where that's the dun 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 dun.
What
Dun, dun, dun,
instrument is it that they use in a lot of their songs that are like that? Like it's a weird, like for example in Mass Effect 2, where Shepard's like, it's always struck me when he is sucked out of the Normandy and he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that song plays, the somber tone that you usually associate with Mass Effect moments.
I mean, it's a lot of pianos.
Yeah. Is that always a piano? Because it feels like there's another instrument in there that always just
So
resonates
they use a lot of
very well.
pianos. In 2, they use a lot of guitars. But they've always, from the first game all the way to the third, they use a lot of electronic synths.
Yeah.
Which is where you get like your map theme in Mass Effect 1. The do 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 do. That one real catchy, sticks in your head. You sing every time you enter that map. You sing along with it every time.
Yeah.
You know. And the first game has some bangers too, but I think the map theme is really the standout track.
It's peaceful.
from that. It invites you to explore.
It does.
You know, and God, if there's a game that needs a full remake, it's that first game, man. Oh, can you imagine with like the ability to like fully explore environments and so forth? Shout out to Uncharted's theme.
You know, Uncharted's music never really has done much for me.
That theme though.
But that theme
That
is sick as hell.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was my big critique of the movie is use the fucking theme. Like, you have it. You used it in the movie. Use it. Like,
Yeah.
stop with this generic shit. Use the real theme because we want it and we need it. And it's great.
But very limited as far as, the use of that song in that movie.
Now-
I didn't do it.
For me, Connor, we've talked about a couple of entries here. When we talk soundtracks, when we talk music, all right? The one that always, always, always comes to my mind is some Metal Gear Solid.
What a thrill. And darkness and silence through the night. Bum, 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 bum.
What a
The instrumentals to the vocals of that soundtrack alone, not even including Metal Gear everything, is perfection. It's
I think
perfect.
3 is the best of them because it has everything from 1 and 2 that were bangers, but we're reprising them in ways that is interesting and is cool and so forth. And then we're adding our own bangers. I think of the Caution theme, which is really just, if you really want to talk about it, is really just the Mission Impossible theme. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum, ba, bum. That's Mission Impossible. Like, as fuck. The old 70s show, not the new age where
It's a lot more fast paced.
yeah, it's more of like a banger back then. It was more subtle, back in the day, and I think that's why it's so perfect in Snake Eater. But even they bring back the MGS2 theme in 3, and I think it's better in 3. Like, it's fucking great.
Yeah. I always loved that intro. The music plays
The
during
Snake
it.
Eater.
Oh, it's Snake Eater, but also 2.
The 2, yeah, the 2 one has a great one.
Bum, 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 bum. Really great. Really great.
Anyways, but yeah, I think Metal Gear is a franchise. If we want to talk about franchises, Metal Gear's the GOAT. Like,
As far as soundtracks or just
yeah.
general?
I don't think you get better get better than that. You can talk individual tracks, but like and even individual games, you could make an argument. But as a franchise as a whole, Metal Gear, I think, goats all of them.
You know,
All the way from 1 all the way up to 4. I don't think there's a miss.
I have to admit, there is a superior game that has some of the best soundtracks.
Franchise?
No, I'll go a step further. Any game made by Yoko Taro, the Drakengard, namely the Drakengard games and the Nier games, every single one of them has a soundtrack that, first of all, Nier Automata and Nier Replicant both won their soundtrack of the year, respectively. And anytime they win, even if there's other things that win, I like a little bit more.
Nier Automata is pretty crazy because 2017 was not a sloucher in terms of soundtracks.
It was not.
You're talking Mario Odyssey. You're talking Wolfenstein 2. Mm-hmm. You're talking Breath of the Wild for when Breath of the Wild did have music.
Yeah.
Those moments hit.
But, Nier Automata is able to make such unique music that you don't hear anywhere else. Because you can get symphonic music. You can get very generic I use loosely, vocals, whether it's speaking in English or Spanish or Japanese or French or whatever. But Nier Automata has multiple segments that are spoken, correct me if I'm wrong, I apologize if I am, Chaos language, which is not it's not an actual language. It's not something that you can casually speak. But the use of it in Nier games, which is very common, and even Drakengard games, is breathtakingly beautiful, whether it's listened to on its own or in the segment that it pops up in. There's an amazing scene in Nier Automata where you find out about this character that it has relation to the first Nier game, which I have yet to play, but it's these flowers. And this character who is from the first Nier game, who is in Automata, planted a bunch of these in an underground cave. And this beautiful, haunting music plays as you're walking through this. And it's a very somber moment in the middle of a pretty fast-paced game. And that moment comes up many, many times, moments like it at least, where the soundtrack is always underscoring it. It is always unique, always fantastic, and always fits the tone of the games that they're in. So any game by Yoko Taro is also another, massive masterpiece as far as music is concerned. Even though the composer for those games is not Yoko Taro, it's someone else who I cannot remember the name of, but they do great work, and that's some of the best video game music I've heard for myself.
I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Final Fantasy.
We'd be stupid. We'd be stupid. That was my next.
I still think Metal Gear's trumping all of this personally, but maybe I'm just biased. But Final Fantasy, I can't deny, has bangers. Bangers.
In my eyes, I just jerked off Nier Automata and Nier a second ago. Mm-hmm. The best soundtrack in my eyes comes from Final Fantasy games.
Final Fantasy 6,
Timeless.
Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy
music.
fucking 12 gets a lot of love. Mm-hmm. I know.
14 even now, especially with the player base that game has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
16 is hoped to be even
9,
a greater one.
I believe gets a lot of love too.
9 does as well.
Yeah. In terms of music.
8, dude, one of the best video game soundtracks, Liberi Fatali, is in that music.
I mean, it's hard to get past. To me, it peaks in 6 and 7 because I've heard 6 songs and obviously I've played 7, both its original and its remake, and it's hard to beat those.
Have you heard "Dancing Mad" from Final Fantasy VI, the final boss theme?
Oh, I cannot remember it off the top of my head, but I know I've heard it.
It's incredibly amazing that was made with no traditional instrumentals as we have today. They were very limited in their technology, considering it was a pixel game. The fact they were able to make it then and then just constantly make amazing songs. Nobuo Uematsu, the person who has done a lot of the Final Fantasy soundtracks, is a master at his craft. An absolute master. Mm-hmm. Respect him a lot. Sad that he's retiring. He's on the down low, but
also Fire
Emblem.
Fire Emblem's got some great tracks too. I of course have only played 3 houses. So them Foldlin wins. Ooh, them Foldlin wins. Let me tell you about them.
God Shattering Star. Some great songs in 3 houses.
Great songs. Mm-hmm. Great fucking songs. But yeah, I mean, a lot of them JRPGs, whether they're tactics or other, you just spilled water all over yourself.
That is a certified drunk moment.
Need another shot?
Yeah.
Give me your glass.
Let me finish this real quick. Well, I can pass.
Come on.
Well, I spilled that.
You're fucking nuts.
I'm a little.
You made a mess.
Not a mess, a spill.
You made a mess. That's an expensive microphone. Don't fuck up that microphone.
It's not on the microphone. I would never do it on the microphone.
You need go get like a towel or something. Go get a towel. This fucking asshole. Should we do another shot, ladies and gentlemen?
Shame, baby.
Probably not. Probably not. But we're going to. We bought this fireball today. We've almost killed the whole bottle. Granted, my mother helped me. My mother poured herself a couple of drinks of this because she likes fireball. She just drinks it straight. She's fucking nuts like that. Who the fuck cares about fucking Flight Simulator? I've never met one person who goes outside who cares about Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Do you have the fireball in here?
Yeah, it's right here.
You would not. After this shot, you have to return it to your mother.
Oh, she wants it? Oh, she's yelling something from the other room.
No,
or
she says
something.
we can have it, but
No, take it, because we shouldn't take another shot after the shot.
we should not.
No, because I mean, you still got your thing, and then you got your Crown Apple to drink. I'm drinking my Crown Apple right now.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I mean, you're over here spilling shit over after 4 shots. You fucking pussy.
Hey! I've been taking lots of sips.
From that?
Yeah.
Oh, you like the Crown Apple, dude?
Originally, better than I thought it would be. Honestly, I like original Crown better, but.
But let me tell you, when I go out drinking, Connor, this is how I start my nights. Is I start it with a shot of Crown Apple, and then I'm just drinking beer the whole night. Get the shot.
On your bartending shifts?
No,
or
no,
your
no. When I go out. When I go
okay.
out. Take a quick shot of Crown Apple. Get my juices flowing, and then I'm just sipping beer the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it.
That's not how I do it.
Shout out to Yingling.
By far. Who?
Yingling.
Who's
that? It's a
What's
beer.
that? Oh.
It's an amber beer.
Oh.
Eastern, I believe.
A Chinese beer?
No. East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's made its way here, and I think it's encroaching on the West.
A resident BJ special?
No.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna put this out there, and then I'm gonna go to the restroom.
Go.
I'm gonna go to the restroom. So
you
you
going
have
to the restroom
you
too?
have to stall.
All right, so I got a freestyle. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about this Overwatch here, man. This is a waste of time. Is what this is right here. What a thrill in darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm merging and I'm melting to you. Motherfuckers really sleeping on Metal Gear Solid 3, man. Even fans sometimes be sleeping on it. They be talking Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, Kojima's vision, XYZ. He was apologizing for being too radical in 2. Motherfuckers, that shit's fucking dope. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at that fucking game. Go play that fucking video game right there. That's a fucking video game right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you right. The thematic roller coaster that you're on when you play that fucking video game is unlike anything you've ever played before. Unlike anything you've ever played before. I fucking promise you. From the high-hitting highs of the third act to the low-hitting lows of the third act. Like, you don't touch that game. That game has one of the top 3 best video game endings of all time, matched only by, I think, the first Last of Us game and fucking Crisis Core, maybe. Crisis Core has a pretty damn good ending, in my opinion. But, like, overall, like, you just don't get better than Snake Eater. The camouflage? Come on, man. The camouflage is great. People complain, too much spending time in menus and shit. Shut the fuck up. You use 4 fucking camouflages the whole fucking game. You're fine. You're fine. Stop fucking tripping and worrying about a little camo index. You're over 80%. You're fucking fine. You're doing what you need to do. You're going in. You're getting your headshots. You're sneaking through. You're being Snake. You're doing all these fucking things. You're eating snakes. You're literally eating snakes. What other game can you eat snakes? What games can you eat snakes, Connor?
I don't know, but my name is Tavin Bothel, and I will include my conversation about Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. I love Metal Gear Solid 3. Snake Eater. Let me talk about how I eat snakes and Gaheel. Alligators. But eating snakes is pretty cool.
Best video game of all time.
Well, I would not agree with you there, but I tip my drink to you,
Best
my
video
water.
game. Go back and replay that game.
I will, and I'll still not consider it the best game of all time.
Best game of all time. Undisputably. There's nothing that even comes close.
Bloodborne, Elden Ring,
Nope.
Last of Us, Part 1. Hey, come close?
No.
Well, let's see what else. What's Mass Effect 2, the better game out of all the Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 2 is the worst fucking Mass Effect in the fucking franchise.
I knew that was going to set him off.
No. I'm tired of playing nice. Okay? I'm tired of it. In what way is Mass Effect 2 the best video game of even that trilogy?
First of all, it's got the best party members objectively across the board. You will not deny that.
The best party members are in all 3 games.
No,
Rex, Tali, Garrus.
No, we had to get the AI in Mass Effect 3 for some reason, even though we could have filled it with any other character that we like gameplay-wise and like character-wise. But no, we did EVA, whatever her name is, Edie.
I'm not vouching for Edie.
But that's the point, though. She was a party member. So was James. I don't mind James.
James is cool.
But in exchange for any other Mass Effect character that has existed in the past 2 games...
Garrus and Tali are in all 3 games.
That is fantastic. But where's Grunt? Where's Thane?
Listen, Thane was too sick.
Where's Liara? She wasn't even in all 3. Well, it made sense.
She's in 2 of them, and you can play her in the second game in a DLC. And granted, that hurts your argument of Mass Effect 2, because you can't have Liara.
But you can have so many other people. You have Miranda. You have Jack. No, Jack? You have the 9.
Jack is not even top 10.
She was good, though.
Is that
She's great?
That might be hyperbolic. Jack's pretty
Second
great.
guessing yourself?
Jack's pretty great. But you can't play any of them in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Listen, and Mass Effect 2 is so stiff. It's so stiff. I'm tired of acting like that combat is good. The combat in 2 is not good.
It's not as great as 3. 3 is fantastic.
It's stiff as fuck. I can't do anything.
You can play.
It plays like every other 7th generation shooter. Is it Mass Effect or is it fucking Gears of War? I can't fucking tell the difference.
Wrong. Fake news. Wrong.
Fake news? Fake news, at least in Mass Effect 1, I can pop a couple of biotic powers and fucking feel like I'm doing something on the battlefield.
You don't feel that way with Mass Effect 2?
No!
You must be not a pro gamer.
I feel like I'm point and clicking in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is easily the most boring gameplay of the trilogy.
In that case, why'd you play it on PC rather than PS5 or PS4?
I didn't. What the fuck are you smoking?
Point and click?
I've got 2 fucking... Yeah. Because you
click
can
is
point
not a
and click
term
on
used for controllers.
You can point and click on a console. It's fine.
No, you can't.
How would you describe a fucking Walking Dead game or a Telltale game?
Use the trigger buttons if you're on console.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Point and click. If you're you don't point and click.
Man,
you don't point. You don't point. You don't even really click.
You point the gun and you pull the trigger.
But pulling the trigger's not a click.
And it's boring.
Pulling the trigger's not a click.
It's fucking boring.
You have to understand, Tavin. In the words of the great Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm dug in, and I'll never change. So, I'm dug in that Mass Effect 2 is the best Mass Effect game, and I'll never change.
There is not a single Mass Effect fan who can say anything to me that would even like I've got a counter for every single point you have. Every single point.
I don't believe you do.
I do. Fucking bring it. You want to talk about the suicide mission? Oh, the suicide mission's so great. It's so tense. I feel so great. It's a fucking math problem. Once you know the fucking answers, there's no fucking tension. There's no fucking replayability there. Go ahead. Go ahead. What do you have? What do you have?
That doesn't matter. As much as what matters the first time you played it. Because the first time you played it, I know you weren't... I know what's going to happen.
I was stressing.
You were fretting. You were stressing. You were fretting.
And I lost.
And you lost.
Some people. I won. At the end of the day, I won.
See? That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Mass Effect 3 doesn't have anything remotely like that. You know what's coming. You know what's happening.
That's not true at all.
You know exactly what's coming.
That's not true at all.
And the changes don't really matter.
Characters die in Mass Effect 3 because of your choices.
They do, but
throughout the first 2 games.
But a lot less die in Mass Effect 3 as opposed to Mass Effect 2, where your entire team, you can die in Mass Effect 2 because you're a dumb.
You have to actively choose to die to die in Mass Effect 2.
But the fact is, you die though.
You have to go out of your way to do that.
But you still can't. You see, you can go out of your way to get yourself killed, or you can not go out of your way to get everyone else killed.
You've yet to respond to the fact that Mass Effect 2 is the most generic third-person fucking chest-high wall cover-based shooter to ever grace an RPG.
No. Not to grace every RPG. There's some, like...
the fact that it even calls itself an RPG. I've got fucking 4 upgrades. Okay, yeah, I'm an RPG.
More than 4 upgrades, and you have party dynamic. party
Oh,
relationships, which
whatever.
isn't a part of RPGing. I
Whatever.
play
You
D&D
put
yesterday.
Miranda and you
I
put Garrus
play-
on your squad and you're fucking fine.
And then how are you going to deal between the fight with Jack and Miranda? That never,
What? Why would you do Jack?
But no, that fight happens regardless. You have to resolve it.
Oh, you're talking the dialogue fight.
Yeah.
I meant combat.
I'm talking about RPG elements.
That's not an RPG element.
That's an
a
RPG
freaking
element.
dialogue tree.
But it brings out gameplay elements in terms of Paragon and Renegade.
do enough fucking
Renegade
points and I fucking have
But what if you can't do them? What if you didn't act in accordance with your morality, which is what an RPG mechanic would be, because you have to act consistent?
But
then you wouldn't have an option.
But that takes away from it, because at least in Mass Effect 1, you could be dynamic with your dialogue choices and still do what you need to do. In Mass Effect 2, you either fucking go all the way good or all the way bad, or else people die.
That Mass Effect 1 comment
That's
is
not
not
a
true.
choice.
That Mass Effect comment, the Mass Effect 1 comment is not true. I remember one of my most disappointing parts of Mass Effect 1, my fault, because I RP'd badly, was I didn't have enough Paragon or Renegade to convince Rex to just drop the gun. And what happened to him? He died. He's dead.
Well, that's your own. You're just not playing enough of the fucking game.
Hey, but I wasn't consistent enough with RP.
But with Rex, you have options.
But I had to have RP in the first game to actually get that decision.
You can either talk to him. You can either talk him down through your accumulation of Paragon or Renegade points. You can do his loyalty quest, which allows you to talk him down without Paragon or Renegade points, or you just fucking kill him, or get him killed by Ashley. Those are options. Those are choices. In fucking Mass Effect 2, you either have enough points to talk down Jack and Miranda, or one of them or both of them die.
So here's the thing. Is that not RPing?
No.
That is RPing.
It's a yes or no.
That is objectively RPing. Yes or no is RPing. As long as you have autonomy with how something ends up, is RPG.
Okay,
That's
I'm
what
sorry,
that is.
Jack. I'm
That's
sorry,
what that
Jack.
is.
I'm sorry, Jack. Let me go ahead and resolve all of your childhood trauma for you. Let me go ahead and be there for every moment of your fucking life, and maybe even want to bang the fuck out of you because you're low-key kind of hot. But, like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. I took Miranda's side in one little argument. One little tiny argument because I thought she was right. Oh, and now you're dead? How is that RP?
Well,
now you're no longer fucking loyal to me? I just fucking helped you blow up a fucking base for the that was owned by the people we work for.
Two things.
I stepped out of line for you, and you fucking want to go ahead and get yourself killed.
Were you really stepping out of line for her? Because from her perspective, what is it? The group that tortured and fucked her over for her entire life, and you side with them when one of your teammates casually says, you were kind of overreacting. You're a crybaby. And then...
Okay, so why does... Okay, let's flip it then. You take Jack's side of the argument. Why does Miranda now no longer have the will to make it to the end of the game?
Because she's a goddamn Cerberus bitch. That's what she is. She constantly is... Cerberus is great. Cerberus
But these
is
things
good.
don't make
Cerberus
any
is
sense
fantastic.
narratively.
You have to turn her away from Cerberus for even in the plot of Mass Effect to even consider
Also,
that,
Mass
Cerberus isn't
Effect
great.
2 plot doesn't make any fucking sense.
It does make sense.
It doesn't make
It
sense.
makes total sense.
Oh, we have to for some reason leave the ship because we can't fucking get there because we're installing some shit or whatever. Go ahead, take the shuttle, but don't take the two specific fighters that you're going to take. And by the way, these fucking combat mechanics are so simple for fucking every single little dumb fuck little gamer who can't decide any type of build. Forgive me in an RPG for wanting a combat build of any type.
Wait a second.
Let me take all the fighters off of the Normandy. Anybody who can fucking wield a gun worth their fucking spit. We're gonna take them all off the fucking Normandy and leave the Normandy completely defenseless for arbitrary plot reasons because we want the tensions to rise for no natural reason. They just rise because we fucking want them to. This fucking game sucks.
Dude, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? That's an extremely valid point. But besides that fact, it is an RPG. That's what I'm hooked
Is
up
it?
on.
Is it an
totally
RPG?
an RPG. You decide the relationships between your characters. You decide. And by the way, the thing about you...
You just pick who you want to fuck. Everybody else is your best fucking
And then what
friend.
happens when you fuck Jack early on? When she offers it.
That is true. You
I mean,
do fuck
she's
up.
like,
if you
oh,
fuck,
you're
if you
just
fuck
a-
Jack early. She doesn't respect you.
She's
You're
like
right.
you're a
That's
pick like every other man or
Yeah.
woman that I've had the pleasure of meeting, and my worldview is reinforced. But as you RP, because RP is more than just making decisions; it's how you act, it's how you carry yourself.
true.
Over
There is
subsequent
not
times.
a single fucking moment in Mass Effect 2 that comes close to Rex on Vermeer. Not a single time do you ever go, oh, fuck, I'm conflicted.
The entire suicide mission.
No,
where
you're not conflicted.
Entire characters where you like
You're
them.
tense, but you're not conflicted. Who the fuck? Okay.
Conflicted.
Oh, pick a leader for the second squad. Who the fuck am I gonna pick? Tally? No, I'm not gonna pick Tally for the leader of the second squad. She's the fucking hacker.
Are you sure? Because if you don't, someone's going to die that you had relationships.
If you pick Tally for the fucking second squad, you're gonna lose your fucking hacker every single time.
You pick. Spoiler: you pick Garrus. If you don't pick Garrus, you are stupid.
Except that you don't have to pick Garrus. You can pick Garrus. You
Minimum,
can pick Miranda.
minimum.
You can pick.
But anybody who's playing through it on their first roll will be like Garrus, or they're stupid.
I picked Zaid.
And what happened?
Tally died.
Yep. You had to pick Garrus.
Morden, I think, died.
Oh, the only reason Garrus died my first playthrough was because I didn't get his loyalty all the way up. RPing. I failed to be a Paragon.
Okay, but
or
that just
a
means that
Paragon.
side missions aren't side missions. You have to do them or face the consequences of not having that character in the third
Exactly.
game.
RP
That's not RPing.
That is
That's
RP.
forcing you to be a completionist.
That is RPing, because if you just go through as a stone wall, a brick wall, who's just, I'm going to get the mission done whatsoever, as an on-rails game would do, bad consequences are going to happen. Whereas as RPing, as a D&D player myself knows, the more you interact with people, the more options you have available. The more you know somebody, the more likely it is you are to try and convince them to do something or to not do something. And Mass Effect embodies that pretty well by having an interconnected party that can fall or rise above its expectations depending on how you carry yourself and what upgrades you get for the ship. And that too.
That's a. Oh my god! Don't even get me fucking started.
If you're a fucking cheapskate to buy better armor and someone dies on you, yeah, you deserved it because
But
you're a
that's
cheapskate.
that's a functionality in the fucking game that they don't even touch on hard enough. They don't explain, hey, we really need these fucking upgrades. They don't.
And they shouldn't, because you're a captain of a ship, and when you have ways to improve your ship, especially before a suicide mission, and you don't do it, it's all on you. Sorry that you weren't a good
Mass
leader.
Effect 1 is the best game in this franchise.
Listen,
I don't even know why we're fucking
What?
having a
You're
conversation.
RPing as a
First game
leader
is
in
the
Mass
best
Effect
game.
2.
First
A
game is the
leader,
best
and you have consequences.
You want to talk
more
about
so.
RPing? You want to talk about RPing and not bring up Mass Effect 1? Let's talk about the fucking mission
Mass Effect
where
1
your whole fucking squad got wiped out, and then you meet someone who was traumatized by that event and is going around committing terrorist attacks, and now you have to talk him off the ledge or shoot him in the fucking face, and that's your old comrade.
Only if you choose a certain class, though. Because most of the game, the main game elements of Mass Effect 1 are
it's a
on rails.
backstory thing. It's a backstory thing. It's a
But
backstory.
Mass Effect 1 has pretty on-rails RPing. There's very limited options for how things can end up. What's the diversity of how things can end in Mass Effect 1? Like, you make Saren shoot himself, or he shoots you. Either way, you have a boss fight, or you shoot him. Either way, you have to have a boss fight. The Rex,
I mean, the Rex moment alone.
Which is
There's
great-
three different options for that.
But isn't it kind of, not pathetic, but isn't it pretty notable that the most standout point was the single-handedly best moment in all of Mass Effect 1, and one of the best moments in all of Mass Effect as far as RPing is concerned?
But my argument is outside of the suicide mission, which I don't think is that great. There is no big moment in Mass Effect 2.
There's not, no. I agree. Which I don't mind, though, because that's not what it was building up to one big moment, not a bunch of different
But
big
like
moments.
Mass Effect 3 has like 4 moments. Mass Effect 1 has the Rex moment, has the Ashley Caden moment. Mass Effect 1 has like, it's just foundational. Like the choices
Great.
you make in Mass Effect 1 dictate what happens in the next 2 games.
It does. In that sense, Mass Effect 1 is the best. I was comparing RPing from Mass Effect 3 to 2. 1 is the best one. In terms of just how you go throughout you carry yourself. It plays more like an RPG.
By the time you hit 3, like we're in the third act, like things have been set in stone. Like we can't, like the dominoes are falling. We can't change how they're falling now.
Yeah, which is admittedly a criticism of an RPG game.
But you also want to tell a story.
You do, which is why maybe you should have considered not being an RPG game. If you can't leave it up to the player to
But
decide
we're in a
things.
trilogy. We're telling a story here. Every RPG is telling a story.
Yeah, I get it, but then keep along the lines of being more RPing and having consistency in the choices you make versus the outcome that happens, rather than just making another action-adventure game. I mean, for Andromeda's faults, it played more like an RPG than Mass Effect 3 did, which was just kind of you're going through it as the game is
I don't know
predicted
about
up to that
that. Mass Effect 3? I don't know about that.
I can accept some points of me being wrong on that front.
I mean, let's
but
just talk
as of right now-
upgrade trees alone. Like, you cannot tell me that Mass Effect 2 upgrade tree is good.
Oh, I should make a claim. I didn't say Mass Effect Andromeda was a good role-playing game.
I mean, if we want to talk about role-playing, like, that's a different art. But, like, the upgrade tree in terms of, like, mechanics of a role-playing game, Mass Effect 2 leaves a lot to be desired. And I think even Andromeda has, like, some ups on that. Ready for this?
I didn't know that. I forgot that there was one. Let me get a fresh Coca-Cola.
Okay. Go right ahead. Actually, I need to piss again. So
you do?
Yeah. I mean, grab your Coke.
Yeah.
One of us has to stay on mic at some point. But like,
well, I'll start making right now while you go piss. Because I mean, I could.
Okay.
It's not like I'm dying. I'm only getting a Coke because I'm taking a shot. Which, by the way, Coca-Cola is the best soft drink of all time. Coca-Cola is a
beer.
Whip. Okay. Root beer is another acceptable answer. In place of, I will not lament you or criticize you for thinking that. But Coke is the best. It's the most versatile. It has a nice citrusy flavor, a classic flavor that can be replicated in snow cones. And that's about it, from what I can think of. But Coca-Cola is amazing. In fact, it's even named off of the drug. And I'm going to be honest, drugs are pretty cool. Don't do them. Do not do them. This is a channel that does not advertise drug use. So don't do them. Tavin would be very... He'd be very angry if he was here right now. Hopefully he can't hear me right now. Hopefully he's going to come in and be like, what, blah, 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 blah. I'm on a talking point now. And hopefully he doesn't know that I said you can do drugs because they're cool. But don't do them. That was a joke. Right? What I said right there was a joke. So don't say it. I'm not blinking. I have something in my eye that I'm probably not doing right every single time. See? So, to top it off, Tavin is a dumb idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about as far as...
fucking toilet flush. It changed the subject. I know you did.
What was the subject? What was the subject originally?
It doesn't matter, but I heard you pause.
It doesn't matter.
Actually, Tavin's a fucking moron.
Well,
Fucking
he
asshole.
is. He thinks that Mass Effect 3 is the best Mass Effect game. He thinks it's the best one. Do you?
What are we talking about in terms
What
of
the best Mass Effect game? It's 3 or 1, clearly. And I feel like you've probably, ping-ponged
Probably
a while
3.
for that.
It's probably 3.
So I was right.
It's probably
basically.
3.
So he's always going to shill it regardless of whether the quality is
But
actually comparable to
if
Mass
you're
Effect
playing,
2. Always
you
remember
can't
that.
just play 3. You have to play the first 2 before you
play all of them.
3. But like,
If
if
you play the first
if
game,
you're
play all of
only going to play 1, play the first one.
Yeah. Admittedly, I say that only because of the canonical aspect of it.
Like, I think if you skip Mass Effect 1 to play Mass Effect 2, you're an idiot.
Yeah, that'd be a bad idea. Bad
And
idea.
playing Mass Effect 3, like, all of the emotional beats, like, don't work because you didn't play the first 2 games. So,
Cook time.
there's that. Anyways,
But the overall point that should be brought up is Mass Effect is a great game and everyone should play it if they haven't
played the
it.
whole trilogy.
The fact that you can have conversations like this with your friends.
Fuck Andromeda, though.
Yeah, don't play that.
Yeah, it's not
Play
worth your time.
the new upcoming Mass Effect 4 in 2028.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. Which even then, are we even actually getting Dragon Age fucking 4 before that even happens?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I've seen more updates for Mass Effect than Dragon Age. So like we're really like we really have to ask ourselves, what are we getting here in the next few years? You know what I mean?
Have you opened this?
He's struggling to open it, ladies.
I won't lie, ladies and gentlemen. I've always had issues opening packs of soft drinks. I don't know how to do that. As a matter of fact, I should probably be paying attention to how Tavin's doing it. But because I need to keep the stream going, if you can even hear this,
It's a recording, you fucking
the
moron.
recording going, if you can even hear this, is to keep talking.
You popping in at the top of the fucking camera view is fucking hilarious. Anyways. I just don't know. I've never understood the argument for Mass Effect 2. Everyone's like, Mass
never
Effect
have.
2 is fucking BioWare's masterpiece and all this. That. I'm like, did we play the same video game? Did we play the same video game? Because that game is just okay at best.
Yes, we did.
It's better than okay. It's a really good game. But
But comparable to the first and third game.
no, I don't even think it's better than the first game. The first game has way more going on.
Well, you know what? To close out this argument, since we've been talking about it for a while,
Yeah.
is to give a toast to Mass Effect. regardless of which game is the best.
Mass Effect, great trilogy.
Thank you, BioWare, for making fantastic games.
Dude, and
I
thank you
hope
for
you
that
make more.
Legendary Edition, man. We needed that. We
did.
needed that.
It was necessary.
That was necessary.
Please add multiplayer.
It's probably too late now for most multiplayer.
It is, but add multiplayer. They said they were thinking about it.
Yeah, but I don't
it's
think
too
it's
late.
gonna
I know.
happen.
Yeah, I know it's not. It's probably not. But
Probably a thing for their next Mass Effect game. You would hope. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was good.
it was good.
It was good. Something about
underrated.
Andromeda, it was the same thing, but just for some reason we just didn't attach to it.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
Very
have the
strange.
backdrop of an amazing game.
Well, Connor, since we're in a little bit of a debate back and forth, Connor, and we're celebrating 100 episodes of this, we should revert back to a conversation we had on the very first episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In the very first episode of this podcast, which is terrible, and you should not go listen to it, by the way.
You should.
No, I didn't record the settings right. It sounds very bad. Listen to it on some speakers. Don't listen to it in some headphones. But Last of Us. We've already talked about it today.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got some drink in us. You know, we're feeling a little fiery. We're a little loose right now. I've already stated, Last of Us Part 2 is my second favorite video game of all fucking time. Did I just hit something?
Probably.
Okay.
I didn't see it though, so it didn't happen. But I don't know what angle you're going with this.
You were not as big of a fan of Last of Us Part 2 because you're a fucking moron.
Still, I'm not. Still am maybe a moron, but still not big on Final Fantasy Last of Us Part 2.
You're on a different game already.
I was focusing on... Yeah, I don't know why I said that.
No, what's playing right now? What is this?
That's Naraka Blade Point, the Battle Royale.
Oh, okay.
game.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Connor, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Effectively, the issue with Part 2 is the emotional payoffs that 1 gave us was inconsequential comparative to 2. Because who gave a shit? Whoever gave... I cannot possibly believe why I would ever give a shit about any character besides Joel at that point. Because every other character was either minimally used or they were used and they gave no impression of any kind of interesting character whatsoever. Who is the Dino? Dina?
Dina.
Yeah, he gives a shit about fucking her. And the fucking Kevin. What was his name? The guy who joins you, and he's like, "I followed you here." James. See, I can't even remember his name. You can't remember his name. Second best game, and you spent a whole section with him. But the issue with him is he actually came up as being good, and then was like, "Okay, I could see myself really liking this character as opposed to what I thought I would think of him." But then it never really includes him in the game when he's introduced.
He's a good character.
He's a good character, but he's not utilized well, which is what you can say about every character in that entire game. They're not utilized well.
Connor, who the fuck... The two brothers, what were their fucking names?
What brothers?
In the first game.
I don't know. But they're better characters than these guys were.
And you can't remember their names?
Because they weren't main characters.
Neither,
Dino was main
neither were
character.
the people you were talking about.
Dino was.
Dina's not a main character.
She's a main... She comes with him on the trip and is constantly there at the
No,
hub area.
the main characters are Ellie, Abby, and Lev.
And Dina. She's there more than anybody
Dina
else.
is not a main character.
She's
Dina's
there
a
from
side
the,
character.
she's there in the entire intro. She's there most of the trip.
But you remember Dina's name.
Because she was there so much. I can't remember the other guy's name, even though he was better.
No, you just liked him more. He's not better.
Yeah, he's better and liked him.
No.
Because Dina was thrown in there and given weight to her without having any development whatsoever.
What are you talking about?
Because, like, they threw her in there and added
She is ride or die with Ellie for the entire route until
make enough
Ellie
good of a
goes
character.
too far. Ellie chooses to go too far, and then Dina goes, yo, we have responsibilities. You cannot be hung up on this obsession anymore.
Yeah,
And then leaves her. Dina has an arc. Dina's great.
leaves her later. But everything has a certain element in that, which is Ellie. It hinges on Ellie, which is right. Which is right. That's good.
That's how story progresses. Is
Exactly.
characters make choices.
Exactly. Ellie is not a problem, but Dina, I wouldn't say it.
But Dina's not our main character. Ellie is.
But she's involved. Any aspect about her character intrinsically involves Ellie. So I never have cared about Dina. I cared about Ellie, and even
because
then,
the two are intertwined. They're in a relationship.
See, that's the issue. They're intertwined, but they literally just were like, okay, drop you in the game. Here's Dina. They're already like really close together. for
Yeah, they're
here and
friends.
now until everything else.
Yeah, they're friends with some flirtatious
Yeah,
vibes.
but compare that to someone like Joel,
And
who I
then they
do care
start
about.
fucking.
We saw an entire game, beat by beat by beat, development of relationship, whereas any other character
Okay.
in Last of Us, we never got that. We got that between Ellie and Joel, but we never got that with even with Abby. She was completely undeveloped. I thought she.
Oh, wow, I so disagree.
See, it went through the flashcards. It went through the points it needed to, but without the length of development that other characters like Ellie in the first Last of Us and Joel would have gotten.
Are we? Did we play the same fucking
Yes.
video game?
See,
What are you talking about?
Because it was so focused on doing gameplay, which got old very quickly, with characters like Abby and even Ellie, rather than developing.
But the
relationship
narrative
of,
moments happen through gameplay.
it happens through there, but it never built anything up.
What are you talking about?
Like-
Every scene in the aquarium, the fucking when Abby conquers her fear of heights by passing over the fucking crane.
As someone who fears heights, she bypassed it. She didn't conquer it. She bypassed
Well,
it.
she didn't conquer it, but she got through it.
did.
She had to face her fear.
But why do I give a shit whether she's scared of heights or not? I barely fucking know her. Why do I care? It's
What?
like,
By
with
that
Ellie-
point, you know her.
No, I know her, but I don't know her. I'm not in the level of
You
Ellie
know her
is.
as well as you know Ellie at that point.
No, I do not. I do not. I
You
had a
know
whole
Abby as
game.
well as by the end of
Whole
Mass
game.
Effect, by the end of Last of Us 1, if you pause on Ellie's character development right there, and then start with Abby all the way to the crane, you know Abby just as well as you know Ellie.
I know her as well, but she's not effective as a character comparative to every other Last of Us character that was introduced before that.
so fucking
Because,
disagree.
like,
You can't even tell me the names of the two fucking brothers in the first game.
no. And because they're not there
Henry
much.
and
They're
Sam,
in-
by the way.
Henry and Sam. They're in a section as opposed to a game. You know, Abby's
So
in a
is
game.
fucking home dude who you keep bringing up, who you say has no consequence.
I can't remember. Wait,
He was
who?
in a section.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Dina's
though.
ex-boyfriend. What the fuck is his name?
See, I didn't say he was a great character. Also, I'm sorry if I did. He could have been a better one if we had more time with him. But we had a little bit of time, the section, and then it was
But
like,
also,
okay,
like,
he'd go off somewhere else.
Tommy's great in Last of Us Part 2.
But he's barely in there. He's
barely in there, but when
like
he's in there,
2
he's
scenes.
great.
3 scenes. Like 3 situations.
No.
Yeah. He's with Joel, and then he's trying to convince Ellie. Like, no, he doesn't even convince Ellie to leave. He just leaves, and then you see him when you meet her up with her in Boston, and then afterwards when he's like, hey, we should
Seattle.
go kill Joel. Seattle.
The first game starts in Boston.
And then after that, when she quit her revenge quest, Ellie, and he was convincing her to try and go for it, and then he left. He didn't even complete it. That was the only thing we saw of Tommy. Which is the issue, is we don't spend time with characters. Abby's backstory with her husband, with her father, being
We
killed.
spend characters with the time we need to spend them with.
But we still don't see him enough. Because like I said, Abby, I would have loved her getting over her issue with her dad's death. I would have loved that. Objectively, from a story point,
That's
how
the
they
whole
presented-
game.
But
What are you talking about?
That's the issue. Because from what they showed us, I know enough about myself and about writing to say, if you had spent tons of more time on it, I would love these characters.
More time.
It's been
The
less than-
biggest criticism between the two of us was that the game was too long.
Dude, with Abby's father, they spent 15 minutes on him. No, that's generous. Like 5 minutes with him.
He
and then
probably
the rest
has about 5 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, but then they do that. They have breadcrumbs of like, this guy can be like, I can really get hit emotionally when I realize he gave his life to try and stop Joel.
He
And
did.
that conflicting. He did, but I didn't care about that character enough because I spent 5 minutes with him, as opposed to a whole first game with Joel.
But that's not the point of the story. That's not the theme that they're touching on.
Honestly, the point of The Last of Us Part 2 is incredibly stupid because it is stupid.
Expound. Expound.
The reason, like, as everything I've said up until now, none of the characters, not the themes, not the execution of the story and how it's presented, were not developed enough for me to care at any point in time. Everything.
You're talking the characters, not the themes? Because thematic themes are the main point of Part 2.
It's not bad. I saw a lot of people saying, I defended this when I first talked about Last of Us Part 2. People saying, why did Ellie forgive Abby? Why did she go through so much killing just to, forgive Abby? That made sense, because she saw, the consequences of chasing after revenge. That was the best
Abby
part
is a
of the story.
representation of that, yeah.
Yeah, the best part of the story. So I don't understand. Thematics was really just tied in with characters and not doing enough to make me care about those characters, rather than thematics on their own. Because
Characters make choices. Like, they
did
go
make
there.
choices. They do, but it's spent so little time on developing them as opposed to just going through gameplay segments or relying on the first game for me to accurately say that I care about anybody except Ellie and the death of Joel. Because outside of those elements, I'm just like, why do I give a shit? Because you asked me about whether I remember characters or not. Abby's companion, the trans character.
Lev.
See, I would not have remembered that if you had asked me. I don't know who that character is. Why do I give a shit? It's that trans aspect, which is done very well, is brought up for a very small portion of the game, and then it's just like, that's it. That's the a lot of the meat of the character. They did good stuff with their sister.
I don't remember. To your point, I don't remember a lot about Lev, but I do remember a lot about Ellie, and I do remember a lot about Abby. I guess
I remember a lot.
I guess the point of the first game was character. The point of the second game is themes,
which does those well. But Last of Us set itself up for a character game, and then when you don't give me that, I'm like, well, why am I here? I can get themes in many other places, not Last of Us, that requires 20 hours, primarily comprised of gameplay that gets over-saturated, when I could just go to themes for...
But now you're talking expectation versus intent. The intent of Last of Us Part 2 is not to give you a character story.
Sure.
It is to give you a tale of thematic arcs that stretch over multiple games and give you what you had in the first game and expound on those in the second.
And that's great. But I bought into the idea of I'm going to be focusing on these characters, not
so
themes.
Your expectations were wrong.
Well, no, it wasn't even expectations. It was like, well, yeah, it was expectations.
And your refusal to change those expectations.
Well, yeah, I shouldn't have to change my expectations when I play a fantastic game like Last of Us 1, who's very character-centric and thematically centric. It's not even like lacking on thematics, but then not fulfill anything on
What is the
characters.
theme of the first game?
Overcoming trauma.
Okay, you got me there.
Joel, no.
You got me there.
Oh, I did?
You got me
shit,
there.
Nice.
No, you got me. You pinned me in the corner. Okay.
It did set up with the death of Joel's daughter, which was very impressive based on the acting.
Overcoming trauma. No, that's good. Yeah.
Through Ellie is great, and it's through Ellie. It mattered. Ellie's character mattered. With this one, it matters less. Like as you said, it's very thematically focused, which isn't an issue. But you can't expect me to stay as hyped about it as one when that's not what. When you change your focus from characters to thematics, because from a game development standpoint, you can't do that.
I mean, I would argue Abby
happy.
is still a really good character.
Oh, she's a good character. She's a very good character. But we get little time with her comparatively to what we
You get half a game!
No, we get time playing her, but not knowing her and feeling sympathetic to her plight. With the father stuff. We only had so many...
Replay that game, dude. Replay that game, because you as the player spent 5 hours of that 10-hour runtime, which is the entire length of the first game is about 10 hours. So you spent 5 hours of that game saying, fuck this character, I don't like this character.
No.
Because she killed Joel.
I liked her. It's just in the context of the game, it doesn't do enough for me to because this is paralleled with Ellie's story of revenge. So I'm getting an underdeveloped character who, even though I am way more in the mindset of, well, I'm supporting Ellie with what she's trying to do here, and then to not really, really focus on that because Ellie abandons her revenge for Joel. Which meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, well, I haven't done enough to care about Abby. I had a whole game to care about Joel. I care about him to a very certain extent. But Abby, she came in and was introduced and only tried to make her seem like a great character after she did the horrible thing that I'm supposed to just kind of wipe out of my mind.
But that's just because they don't show you the horrible things that Joel does. Exactly. Joel does horrible things.
Yeah, he does, objectively. But
in the first Last of Us game, he does horrible things.
Yeah. A good comparison to make
But
is...
you only don't care because... Why are the things that Abby kills one man and we fucking degrade her? Joel dooms an entire species and we uphold him? Why?
No, we don't uphold him.
Joel is a bad guy.
Yeah, and so is Heisenberg. So is Tony Soprano.
Okay.
All of those characters are way more impactful than Abby ever was. Because you can't just, in the middle, be like, okay, she has a justified reason. If I was in a real life and Abby was telling me, yeah, I killed this guy named Joel who ruined the human race, I'm going to be right next to Abby and say like, yeah, right on. You did the right choice.
Okay.
But in the context of video games and Last of Us, what do we spend time with? Who we got to know?
Okay.
Joel.
So if you play...
We're biased. In the same way Ellie was biased. Because even though Ellie can objectively see that Abby was in the right, she knew Joel.
But this plays into the whole theme of perspective.
Yeah, it does.
Because if you're given... You're only feeling this way because you were given Joel's story.
Yeah.
if you play that story from Ellie or from Abby's perspective, you don't fucking like Joel.
I still do.
No,
By far. I knew him. You know what?
You start that series. Fuck it. Even play Ellie's parts. You start that series at Last of Us Part 2, and you are way more even killed on both Ellie and Abby. You see them as the same.
No. Well, yeah, I do. I do, but emotionally, like, why did Joel do what he did to doom the human race and kill Abby's father?
He's selfish.
But he's selfish, but why? Why is he selfish?
That's it.
Because he loves Ellie.
No, and he can't take that loss again, but that's on him.
Exactly, which is why.
So why are we dooming everybody else for that?
Because he cared about Abby.
It's his responsibility as the grown man to be like, it's more important that Ellie does this. Now, granted, I think it's fucked up that the Fireflies put him in that perspective. We should at least wait for Ellie to wake up and let her have the choice. But both the Fireflies and Joel stripped that choice away from her. Now, granted, like, there should have been a bigger fight, and Joel reacted in a way that only Joel would react. Mm-hmm. Like, Joel, of course, lashes out and kills the Fireflies and rescues Ellie. Neither of them give her a choice. And that's Ellie's whole conflict with Joel, because Joel is the only one she can take that conflict out upon. You're going to sit here and tell me the scene where she goes back to the hospital and discovers the truth and takes it out on Joel. You're gonna tell me that scene's not phenomenal?
It's great.
That's not one of the best scenes in the fucking franchise.
You're
gonna tell me the museum scene is not one of the best scenes in the fucking franchise. And when they go into the unexplored area and it's just imagery upon imagery upon imagery of the Fireflies and how it's wrapped up with Joel and how Joel is a liar, that's not the best part of the fucking franchise. Those two scenes that I've just marked alone, the museum and when Ellie goes back, are better than 85% of the scenes that happen in the first game.
But you see, the issue is that none of that is really connected with the new game. Because that does nothing for me with Abby. As far as Abby's concerned, with what we spend a large bulk of the game
You spend half of the game. It's
Yeah, but
that scene resonates with half of the game.
None of those things involve Abby whatsoever. It's all, once again, going back to Ellie and Joel. You don't care.
But
Abby
these are how
irrelevant.
characters react.
Yeah, which is all about reacting of Ellie and Joel. It goes back. Everything traces back to them. So why should, if that's the case, that's great. I won't deny you on that. But why should I, because of that, I all of a sudden care about Abby, a character that's, in a sense, completely disconnected from any of that stuff, which is what a large portion of the game focuses
this
on.
is the thing: is you see Last of Us 1 or you see Last of Us Part 2 as one game. It's two games.
You know what? It's one game.
It's one game in terms of packaging.
I get that, but you can't make that argument of it being two games when you make them in one game. You just can't.
I can when the first game is half the length.
But still, it's focusing on completely different things.
They give us a game of Ellie, and then they give us a game of Abby.
Yeah, which is good. A lot of what I loved about Ellie was, honestly, more based off of Last of Us 1 than Last of Us Part 2. Same thing with Abby. None of those things. The Last of Us 2's quality.
See, I come out and I like Abby more than Ellie in that game.
See, I don't, because they did little with her comparative to Ellie. Where it had lots more greater moments.
I disagree. Her Abby goes through the entire trauma that Joel goes through, and then we see the arc that Ellie goes through in Abby. Abby represents both characters.
But that's kind of the core issue, is that what have you done to make me care? Like, I can look at a piece of paper from a writing perspective and say, that's accurate. But that doesn't matter to how I feel or what I think about a game. So when you add Abby, and you don't really tackle a lot of that stuff in Abby's part, because her father moments, how long do they last? Those dream sequences, for example. They're little snippets of the entire game. And they come and then they go. And all of that's based off of 5 minutes of another character.
My thing is if you break that game in half, like if this was television, like we would feel differently. It's the fact that it's video games, and video games get compared to movies more than they do to television, even though they're closer to television in terms of formatting of story. If you break that game up, like that story hits the way it's supposed to hit. There's no other way to tell that story. Like, yes, we spend half of our time with Ellie, and then we spend half of our time with Abby, and then we we kind of interstitch the two between the third act, which is remarkably shorter than the first two acts because. And granted, like I'm with the argument that Last of Us Part 2 is overbloated and it's too long, but I think it's too long because there's too many combat encounters, not because the story drags out.
That's
I think
true.
the story takes the perfect amount of narrative beats. Like if you were to watch that as a TV series or as a movie, I think that story is paced perfectly. But because it's a video game, there's too many combat encounters.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is there a Rat King encounter? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
Ellie falls through a roof and lands into a bunch of clickers for no reason. Like, 3 times too many times. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Which
But
is
in
a
terms
big
of, like-
aspect of how it defines my opinion on Last of Us 2. In conjunction with it just not really doing the characters as much justice as Last of Us 1 did. Oh. Looking at something?
It's just a text message. Just relax. Just a text message.
I thought you were delving into the records
Listen,
of Last
buddy,
of Us.
I'm a little saucy right now, so I'm throwing some spicy texts out there, and I'm getting the right responses.
On record?
I know. I'm throwing
I almost
some
say
a little
stream.
spicy out here, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? I'm gonna say the same thing, and I'm gonna type. Where is it? Wait.
This is great content that you're producing right here, my friend. This is phenomenal content that you're producing. All right, enough. Fuck.
Hey, what I just got was good news.
You got good news?
Not for this podcast, but I'll tell you off.
Okay, that's
Stream
good
if
for
you
you.
want
It's good for you. Anyways.
Maybe good for you. Maybe. It's up to you.
Listen, here's the thing. I'm 2.5 playthroughs deep into Last of Us Part 2. You are 1. Go back, and I think I've played the first game more than you, but like you've played the first game multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah.
So like both of us, I'm equivalating those two because at some point it's just like okay, we both understand what they're doing here. You know what I'm talking about? Go back and play Last of Us 2 again.
See, I don't want to.
And that's fine, but like, you know, at some point during the video game book club, which is, you know, the first episode's premiering soon, so, you know, check that out. Keep an eye out for that. Subscribe, like, all that share. And if you're fucking 2 hours deep, holy shit.
What time is it?
9:49. You gotta wake up tomorrow morning, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so we should wrap it up here, probably at the end of this conversation.
Probably.
At some point, my friend, you have to replay The Last of Us Part 2. And you got to come to it, you know, some of these moments that were shocking for you and, you know, things that, like, maybe didn't connect, will connect, all of that. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, at some point, I think on replay, you'll appreciate that game more. Will it surpass the first game? Maybe not. And I'm not asking for it to surpass the first game. I'm asking for you to respect that second game.
I'll play it again. I'll see.
Because that second game takes chances. I see video games as a pre and post in terms of recent times. There's a pre and post Last of Us world in terms of that first game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that second game is going to establish a very similar thing like that, where there's going to be a pre and post Last of Us Part 2. What that looks like, I don't know, because there hasn't been enough time yet. But eventually it will be there. But right now it's not. Anyways. Anything else you want to drop in right here?
I guess that I'll play Last of Us Part 2 again. I'm down for it. But with book club, yeah. And I guess I'll develop my opinions, solidify my opinions then.
What do you think is going to happen first? You replay Last of Us Part 2 or you play Last of Us Part 1?
Last of Us 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? Before you play that remake?
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that I think we're going to end it there. 2 hours and 8 minutes. Two Penny Gamescast episode 100. Connor, It's been quite a journey, my friend.
Fun.
Thank you so much for coming through every week and talking with me about video games talking to me about video games for an hour every week.
Thank you for editing all the videos where we talk about video games for 2 hours a week.
Listen, it really doesn't take that much editing. It's really not that much. I just fucking take it and I upload
For
it.
uploading it.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Anyways, but it's been a fun time. I'm excited to continue this journey with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, youtube.com/2pennygamescast every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time. Mainstream podcast services of your choice. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm a little intoxicated right now. Connor, I'll be honest. I've been kind of like hiding it, but I'm intoxicated right now.
Yeah, same here.
I'm feeling good.
I just finished this drink. It'd be great.
Do you want to do another shot?
Yeah, just close it out.
Because someone else is picking you up. I'm sleeping here, of course. I mean, I don't have the fireball with me.
Another iteration of the message that we had earlier.
Yeah.
Seriously, on it, like,
Be safe.
Be safe.
Be safe.
I can't personally speak from experience, but I know other people who can speak from
I
experience.
can't. Don't drink and drive.
Don't.
You
drink
will
and
make
drive.
mistakes.
It is literally, and I'm not joking about this, literally better to sleep on the ground outside the bar where you're drinking, or wherever you're drinking, than
you
it is
done that?
drive home.
Have you done that?
No, but
Well, you'll get arrested for that. At least in this state of Texas.
goddamn Texas, fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck Texas, man. Fuck Texas.
But don't drink and drive, please.
Do not
Yes,
drink and
do
drive.
not drink and drive.
Do not drink it. It's really not worth
Sleep in your.
it. Anyways,
no, better yet, sleep in your car for wherever you drive to.
that's also illegal. In the state of
Who
Texas.
cares?
li-
Cops are gonna enforce. You can't drink and drive, but they can't be like, okay, you can sleep it off in your car.
That's my point. Yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. Again, do not drink and drive. We've been sitting here having a good time, but and you have a good time too, but like responsibly, as we are right now. Are you texting Spencer right now to come
Yes,
pick you
I
up?
am.
There you go. See, he's got a ride. I'm gonna sleep here. We're not even gonna break down this set. I'm gonna break it down in the morning. It is what it is. Connor, you wanna play some Smash Brothers?
While we're waiting, damn yeah.
Fuck yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/2pennygamescast, mainstream podcast services of your choice, twitch.tv/2pennygames. Until next time, have a great time. Connor! Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, and thank you for the views.